Hello everyone and welcome to Beijing and the World's Men's Curling Championship 2014. So much to see and do in this famous Chinese capital, the modern Bird's Nest Stadium built for the Olympics in 2008. A very, very impressive structure, as is the Forbidden City and the Palace Museum, one of the 5 greatest temples in the world. Began building it in AD 1406. It's a busy place, Beijing. More than 17 million people live here. And some of them will be heading to the Capital Gymnasium, which is where our round-robin action continues in the Men's World Curling Championship. Action just about to get underway inside this arena. This is session 10, and our featured game is Canada against the United States. USA beaten this morning, hoping to bounce back. Canada just the one defeat to Japan. And plenty to play for. Least of all, I would guess, a very personal rivalry as well. And there's the Canadian team. I'm Alison Walker and joined by Logan Gray for commentary on that game, as well as updates from all the other action in the arena from this World Men's Curling Championship round-robin action. Much anticipation amongst the Chinese support, and here are the teams for you. The lead for Canada, Nolan Thiessen at second, Carter Rycroft. The third is Pat Simmons. And there is the Canadian skip, Kevin Coe. For the USA, we have the lead, Ryan Brunt. Joe Polo is their second. Playing third, Sean Rajewski. And the skip is Pete Fenson. And there are the standings after session 9. Norway leading the way, 100% record. Canada 4-1, just behind them, and a few others just lurking below. United States 2 wins so far against Russia and Germany. So if they're going to make an impression, they need to win this one. It's kind of got to that point in the round robin, would you say, Logan, where teams really have to start mixing it up, and we can see the other games going on there, hoping to get victories today. We've got Russia, Japan, Germany and Norway, and Sweden against Denmark. And there's a few of those near the bottom that need to start making a move.
Well, absolutely, Alison. I think we can almost discount Russia on 1 and 5, but all the rest of the teams maybe still in with a kind of faint hope of getting to the playoffs. Some really good teams around the bottom of the table that could still make a late charge. Good likes of John Yar and his German team, who got off to a 3-0 start, but then since lost 3 straight games to be 3-3. So still wide open for the playoff berths. Canada certainly looking very strong on 5 wins and 1 loss.
And so you have to favour Kevin Coe and his team in this one.
Well, one thing's for sure, I think this is probably a must-win game for the United States if they want to stay in the hunt. If you lose more than 4 games, then you're really needing a lot of results to go your way for you to make it to the semi-finals. Of course, Pete Fenson, the Olympic bronze medalist in 2006 in Torino in Italy.
It's Nolan Thiessen though that gets us underway, the lead from Canada.
it's the quickest it's been, for sure. It's definitely the quickest it's been.
Lives in Edmonton, Alberta, and plays out of Glencoe Club in Calgary.
Well, tight guard to start the game from Nolan Thiessen. Just listening to Simmons and Rycroft communicating on the way down the ice and saying that the ice is the quickest it's been so far.
This is the USA lead, Ryan Brunt from Portage, Wisconsin.
Yep, keep it going.
He's a fire watcher.
Not really too sure what that entails, Alison. I think if you're watching the fire, you should probably be putting it out. So maybe we can find out more about that later.
Yep. He played in the World Curling Championship men's event in Regina.
6! Hard then! Hard! Wait there!
Nolan Thiessen coming around the centre guard. An aggressive call from American skip Pete Fenson with the first stone of the game for the US, throwing the corner guard. A lot of teams, if they're playing against the likes of Canada, they may be trying to play quite defensively and keep the game tight, but Pete Fenson's been around the block a few times, and I'm sure he thinks he can mix it with the strength of the Canadians.
Get up! We're there! Whoa.
Well, Ryan Brunt is a lefty. Just makes this shot just a little bit more easy. You can see more of the stone that he's trying to freeze coming from the other side of the hack. Just a fraction too heavy on this occasion and bumps off the freeze attempt.
How much area? Inch.
There's the rules of play for you. A reminder, they play a minimum of 6 ends. Around 63 minutes for the game for each team, and there is the coach interaction that we'll probably see later on in the game. This is Carter Rycroft, the second, 36-year-old, also from Glencoe Club, Calgary. Lives in Sherwood Park in Alberta.
Got a curl.
Well, they're just trying to freeze the inside of this yellow stone.
Go now. Go now. Go hard. Hard.
It just shows you really need to get the weight and the line right. If the line's not good, you can't sweep it for weight. And that's what they had to do there. They had to wait, and that's why it's just come up a couple of feet short there of the perfect shot. So a nice opportunity here for the United States to clear the centre of play and try and bring that corner guard that they threw into play.
And the man who hoped to do that is Joe Polo, 31 years old.
Terrific shot from Joe. Makes a double takeout and opens up the centre of play. Let's have another look at that one. Hits it just off the nose and sprays those two reds and rolls away to open up the middle of play. So Canada are forced to play a takeout here, and although they are lying one on the button, I think you'll see them be the more defensive of the two teams here in this first end.
Never.
They don't really have any guards in the centre line that they can use to put the US under any pressure at this stage.
It's gradual there, right? Yeah, I was a little full.
Second stone for Joe Polo. After that, well executed double takeout.
Ball. Sean, shoot it. Okay.
I'm just clearing one of them. The yellow hangs about.
A little bit. Just gradual. I think so. I think it's going to go crazy on you.
See the clocks in the background there. Keep an eye on those. There's Pat Simmons, third for Canada. Lives in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. and he's a chiropractor.
Yep, arc. Whoa, 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 whoa! Off, 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 off. Jeez. Straighten up.
Well, just clings on to the edge of the rings. And from what I've seen, Pat has just struggled a little bit at times this week. So he'll probably need to make some adjustments along the way.
That's fine.
Like that.
Sean Rajewski for the USA. From Virginia, Minnesota. He's a corporate quality manager. He has an Olympic bronze medal from 2006.
Yeah, and actually the second, third, and the skip of this US team were a part of that Olympic bronze medal winning team.
What we know.
Of course, completed by John Schuster, who was lead and vice for that team.
So plenty of experience.
Lesson Carter.
Pat Simmons, second
Clean.
stone.
Whoa! Whoa! I got clean. Clean it. Clean.
The newest member of the team, but he has been on it for 3 years. So certainly well used to playing with each other.
Yeah, and it's been a change of position for Pat Simmons to come and play in this team. Blake McDonald was the member of the team that played with him before, and Pat Simmons, a very successful skip in his own right for Saskatchewan, actually, at Briar. He makes the commute back and forth to Calgary regularly to train with Team Cooey.
And that's not an insignificant distance, is it? Such is the commitment of all these players.
Sure. Okay. I'm okay with that. Do the rings. Okay.
Well, I think Kevin Cooey is being quite clever here and not choosing to go around that corner guard. The last thing they want to do is to suck the play around there, and it's not really on a line that's going to put any pressure on the US team. So they're just going to draw the button here pretty much, or just to the right hand side of it, and make a long hit and roll for the USA.
Canadian skip is 39. Lives in Calgary, Alberta.
Be a little wider.
And of course the 2010
Get it T-line.
World Men's Champion.
Widest line yet, guys. Widest line yet. T-line. Gotta go, guys.
Well, just gone out a little bit wider here, and we've been seeing all week that when you do go that little bit wider, you maybe catch a bit of frost, and the stones aren't curling quite as much until we've had a couple of stones down those paths.
Got it out in that wide path. And
Well, Canada's still in good shape to force USA to score one in the first end, currently lying 2.
Even if they do that, try and roll it a little. See how it can kind of get straight out here, so be a little careful.
They could choose to go around the corner guard at this point, but I think it's just a little bit too long, and it would still leave a reasonably simple shot for the Canadian skip to remove that stone. So I think they're really playing for a blank at this point.
Hit and roll over there a couple of feet. You want to go around? Oh, we can go around. Thank you. Sure. Good idea.
You just get it in there in the top 8. All right?
Yeah. So what are you thinking? Same?
No. A little slower here.
No. Okay. How little? Probably
Like the other games.
8-10 feet. Yeah. Like an 80? Yeah. You get an 80 there?
Okay,
This
well,
is the American skip. Pete Fenson.
yeah, and they've actually made a change of call here. They're going to try and draw around that guard that I mentioned before.
Line's pretty good.
Always need to be a little bit wary of changing calls in the hack.
Got lots? Room.
Quite often the clarity comes between the skip and the vice player.
Yep.
as to what shot they're going to play and how they're going to go about making that shot.
Go, 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 go! Go hard, 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 hard! Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going! Go, go, go!
A live shot position, but I think quite a lot of that stone will be seen from the hack.
Put the broom down!
Okay, so Carter Rycroft just indicating to Kevin Cooey that you can probably see at least 2/3 of that stone, so
Well,
I don't mind board. Yeah,
should
I
be
didn't want any less
pretty
of that,
straightforward here
Oh, no,
for
try and
Kevin
get to
Cooey
nose
to
with
remove
board.
that stone.
Yeah, you can see from that angle on the line
Good board.
how much it's poking out.
Board weight.
Thinking heavy board. Keep it on that line for a bit.
We can't see it going nuts here.
No. Probably, I mean, let's hope it runs exactly how the intern did, okay? Yeah, but that in curled pretty good with normal weight, right? So you think if anything you're on the tight side with ice?
This is the side where at the far end that it comes off the wall.
I'd
right?
say
So
I don't want to be soft on this, is what I'm thinking. But hey.
Well, good input there from the sweepers, and I think a good demonstration of it really being the whole team's responsibility to watch the ice, watch the different speeds, but also the front end are closely watching the different lines of the ice, and also goes back to the practice before the game where they have 10 minutes to get a feel for the ice and learn what the sheet's doing. And some good communication results in a shot well made by the Canadians.
Yep, that was a good team effort.
Takes its time there. It really takes its time, yeah.
Think this is going to be shootout fast?
There really is a misconception that
Yeah, same track.
the reading the
Yeah, I'm not
ice
going
is
to-
purely the skip's responsibility and that everybody should throw where the skip puts the brush. It's down to the whole team to be completely on top of what the sheet of ice is doing and contribute to making every single
But
shot.
surely as a skip you would welcome the input. You would want all the information that you could possibly have before you would make your decision.
Yeah, absolutely, but even at times it can be a little bit too much when you've got too many chefs really contributing.
Easy. Whoa!
So last stone of this first end from Pete Benson. And he's facing 3 counters.
Yeah, he's giving the sweepers a little bit of a workout here, but they've got this one under control.
Sorry, I thought misread that. Good eye.
Gets them warmed up though, if they needed it. And forced to take one. Off to the first end. Canada 0, United States 1.
Judge it a little. Okay.
A little bit higher number of watchmen.
Yeah, and that's why I said that.
And the Capitol Gymnasium was renovated and expanded for the Olympic Games in 2008. They held the volleyball event here. And previous to that, they hosted the World University Games. And do you know, Logan, that this was the first stadium to host an NBA game in China in 2004?
No, I did not.
A sellout 17,000 crowd watched that first game. So it's seen a lot of action.
Yeah, you never know, we might get 17,000 in here at the weekend as well.
Yep, the action will be hotting up near the weekend as we look at Pete Benson's final stone. He seemed to struggle to get up there. The old knees.
Yeah, he's got some good sweepers though, and they knew that it was just a little bit lighter than required. Put a little burst on it at the start and dragged it down there to put a score on the board in the first end.
So there's the 2 skips ready to get the action underway in the second end.
I still think I need more to throw a corner.
I would say a little bit, yeah.
Looks heavy. Good, Ryan. Shot.
Ryan Brunt throws it to the top of the 4-foot circle, and Kevin Kuhl, the corner guard. Here's Oscar Eriksson on sheet B, the Swedish skip.
Whoa.
Last stone of this first end.
Helt upp. Helt upp. Inte drag. Inte drag. All there.
It looks like he's trying to play a difficult little split to score 2. That was not going to come off for Sweden, and it's going to be a steal of 1 in the first end.
It's not the best of starts for Sweden. On to the USA in our featured game.
Oh. Easy. Oh. No. Not yet. No, I'm trying to get off the nose. Yep, if you need to rub, now you buy it, man. It's fine. That's all right. It's fine.
I think they were probably looking for a tight guard there, but gets a pretty good line, and Canada will have to move these Yellowstones at some stage. On this occasion, they're going to call an out-turn draw just to try and freeze their stone against that Yellowstone on the button.
Pretty close. It's not there.
Yep, hard line.
Real hard.
Really hard line.
Good way.
Hard
Gotta
line.
go. 6.
Hard line.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Well, they seem to have found a lot of curl there.
Didn't throw it too bad. That thing curled, eh?
So this will be interesting to see how aggressive Pete Fenson wants to be. Well, this is definitely the safe call, is to play the peel on this corner guard. Difficult for them to cover everything, or every possibility on the centre line at the moment.
Yep. Hard. Shot.
So important to get that yellow stone as far over as possible. That's why Sean Rajewski's sweeping it, and probably just about gets it far enough.
Elsewhere on sheet C, we'll take a look at Russia against Japan. First end.
I like that.
ちょっと待って。Whoa, no line. Yes. Line's good.
So here's Morozumi with a tricky draw for 2. Needs to get across the face of that red stone on the centre line and all the way down into the 4-foot.
Close for line. Yep.
A super sweeping by the Japanese boys, and that's going to be 2 on the board.
Yep, Japan have been looking good
Little bump.
in quite a few of their games here. Aiming to make the playoffs, they say. And they've started well enough. 2 to Japan and 2-0 after the first end.
Yeah, and of course Japan, as you mentioned earlier, Alison, are the only team that have defeated Canada so far this week, and even at one stage in the game they were trailing Canada by 3 shots.
Yep, so they've certainly got that comeback ability.
Whoa. Yep.
Meanwhile, it's been a nice freeze by Carter Rycroft. Just hits that run back slightly on the wrong side.
Moves a few things around.
Could hit and roll away too. Could hit and roll away.
Yeah. I think so.
I think that's better than grouping them there, eh?
Here you go.
Rolling. Yeah.
Carter Rycroft with a control weight takeout.
Whoa,
Try and hit that yellow stone on the button and roll away from the red.
Yep.
Some idea of the pace of the stone. Clipping that yellow.
Well, that was quite a long way away, Alison, from where they wanted to hit.
Pretty straight there.
Back or just straight?
Looked more like it's set up for an in-turn shot
Yep.
to me, but maybe playing to Carter Rycroft's strengths on that one and going with the in-turn.
Right there. Yep. High. High. High.
Well, that's a really bad mistake from Sean Ruzewski. Not even close, and we've seen all week so far that this sheet generally has swung more coming off the barrier side,
Well, what do you want to see here?
I want to see.
and USA getting caught out with that one.
A little less than I just threw.
Yeah, 6
Think
feet.
this will curl.
6 feet more than normal?
6 feet more than draw.
Yeah. 6 feet more than Keen's spot. So.
Okay.
Well, now a free opportunity here for Pat Simmons to split the rings.
Positive throw.
I like it.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Hey, Carter's in. Off! Looks like T. Plus.
Line sucks. It looks heavier than that to me.
Yeah, you're right.
Way heavy.
And you seem to know straight away. So an opportunity missed by Pat Simmons in Canada.
Yeah, that's a huge mistake from Pat Simmons.
Tell how he feels about it.
And maybe that's one of those instances that quite often the player probably has the best feel for how heavy the draw's actually been thrown. And he was telling the sweepers not to sweep it. He felt it was a little bit heavy. He was a little bit positive, and right enough it drifts on through the house.
Okay, let's hop over to sheet D. Germany against Norway. First end. Thomas Ulrud and Eugene Skip with the last stone. Trying to get some points on the board. Norway going well in this championship.
Yeah, chance to score 2 here. Sneaks past the front guard. And terrific shot from Thomas Ulrud. So good with those control weight takeouts.
Yeah, you don't see him messing that up very often. So good start for Norway after 2. After 1.
Well, difficult to see that there's going to be any scoring here in this second end. Back-to-back misses from Ruzewski and then Simmons. Really undone this end. And 2 skips are going to be left just to trade takeouts to finish off this second end.
Hard, guys. Right to it.
Pete Fenson's turn this time to over curl on that out turn off the barrier and roll out of the rings.
Yep, a few mistakes in this end. There's the Canadian bench
So we told them 6 feet and it didn't curl. So
in the middle.
If you get any curls,
It's
6
John
feet
Dunn.
is the weight difference. It's way less than Pat's.
Wolf, you can. Wolf, you're in. Wolf, you're in.
Weight's close.
Whoa, whoa then.
Line's good.
Well, Kevin Cui trying to use this
Oh, in front of the tee.
Line's good.
yellow guard
Whoa.
that shouldn't really be there.
Stay with it, Carter. Stay with
There's
it.
been 3 takeouts and that out turn coming off the barrier that's over curled. And that's a really good shot from Kevin Cui.
great throw, Kev.
Still pretty good. Sorry.
One did, right?
Yeah, so there's a look at the coaching bench. That's Al Hackner. Of course, ex-world champion for Canada.
2/3, you said it.
He looks well.
Close to that.
And good relations there.
Yeah, I believe ex-teammates as well.
Oh, yeah. 3-3.
I think they knew we were talking about them there. But it was all nice, so that's okay.
Well, there's a bit of a giveaway that there's a Jumbotron at the other end of the ice. They probably saw their pretty faces on the wall. So here's Pete Fenson. Going to try and chip this red out. And that's a very soft deuce that they've given away here.
Yep, he'll be annoyed at that.
A lot of misses here from Team USA in this second end.
You cannot afford to give Canada anything like that. What was that, Logan? What was the... Was it just a pure misjudgment?
Well, all the misses have been that it's overcurled coming off the barrier and it's run too straight going towards the barrier, and that's another example there. That intern just not curling and maybe just threw it a little bit high and heavy, and they're just never going to come back.
Should be good though.
Kevin Cooey will take it,
If we can. Now we gotta go.
even if it is a gift.
Good line. Still same line.
He might not have expected.
So he knows, just so he knows.
Yeah, and there's got to be a little bit of frustration for Team USA after that one. They really didn't see that one coming.
But they're pretty close.
Yep, after 2 ends now, Canada take the lead. Canada 2, USA 1. All down to that miss from Pete Fenson.
Sometimes they're the worst. It's the worst way to finish an end, and it's the most difficult ones to come back from when it's just it looks like it's going to be a straightforward blank end. You do something a little bit silly, like a hit and roll out with that first one, and then a good draw from Cooey around a very wide guard, forces the miss, and you give up 2, and you're like, well, a little bit more concentration, and that might not have happened. So
And
interested to see how the USA bounce back after that.
Yep, and there are the standings. Canada going really well, 4-1. Norway leading the way. Whole array of teams trying to get into position behind those two. And really USA further down could do with a win here. But not if they throw shots like that. Sweden 3-3 in the middle. So USA will attempt to just park that end, not think about it too much, not dwell on it, as Canada get this third end underway.
Line should be good.
Mine's fine.
Well, the Americans can't afford to give Canadians
Real
too many
tight.
freebies.
Real tight. It's
Yeah,
all
that's
there.
perfect.
Definitely need to play a little bit better than that if they want to beat this Kevin Cooey team from Canada.
Halfway.
Of course, Kevin Cooey's team, they play out of Alberta, one of the, if not the toughest province in Canada to come out of.
Would these two teams have come up against each other very much over that way?
I dare say that they probably have played against each other quite a bit on the World Curling Tour. I know that Pete Fenson's team over the years have made quite a few journeys north to go and play in Spiels over the border.
But it might not necessarily be this team
By 6.
Okay.
Clean.
that would have been taking
Mine
part.
is good.
Another Canadian team. There's so many good Canadian teams out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, no, no.
That's the great thing about Canada, is that there's so many great teams,
No,
and
no, no. Just let it
they all have to battle it out to get to the Briar, and then even then when they get to the Briar there's even more great teams to play against. So yeah, the Canadian teams do change a little bit. It's not like maybe 10 years ago when Randy Ferbey was cleaning up. But it has very much been kind of Kevin Cooey and Kevin Martin, Jeff Stoughton have really been dominating over the last few years.
Great depth of quality. Not quite the same for the United States.
Yeah, and interestingly, I was speaking to Scott Arnold, who works for the WCF, and he was saying that football or soccer is the most popular sport in Canada, probably second curling.
Meantime, on sheet B, we have the last stone from Oscar Eriksson of Team Sweden. Denmark.
Yeah, and this one isn't hanging around. Well, super shot. I think he maybe had a chance to score 3 there. Only managed to get the 2.
You can go like 1.
And 2 ends played. It's Sweden 2, Denmark 1.
Whoa, Nolan. It's got to curl 3 feet.
Just going back to the chat we were having beforehand.
I thought it was ice hockey.
Well, apparently you're saying that there might be more curlers than ice hockey players in Canada. Maybe a more recreational sport. I don't know. But one thing's for sure, Canada have a massive talent pool, and that's why they have so many great teams. But it's not even just that; it's the work ethic and the amount of time that they put into it. It's not a mistake that Kevin Cooey wins so many competitions and is a second World Championships wearing the maple leaf.
Yeah, and wanted to come back and try and get a second one. Takes an awful lot of time, work and commitment. And the crowd always like to hear lots of stones moving and banging there, and they got that.
I just had a note from Al Cameron of the Canadian Curling Association saying that since 2006, Kevin Cooey and Pete Fenson played each other 6 times, and Kevin Cooey is 6-0 over Pete Fenson.
I wonder if that must impact initially, and they think, or you could view it the other way, thinking game number 7, time to beat him.
I would think possibly more the other way. You've got a little bit of a mental block, thinking, okay, never managed to beat these guys before, but it's important just to take it one shot at a time and see what materialises.
Sheet D. Let's take a look at Germany, Norway, second end. Norway 2-0 up. Rick Schultz trying to get his team back into this. Germany with a great start at the round robin, but they have fallen away.
Yeah, it really was a flying start for the Germans. And you would, I think a lot of teams kind of thought that they might not be able to maintain that standard that they set early on.
Little smile though, they get their 2 there, 2 reds, and they pulled level, 2-2.
You like last, Pat?
Of course, Germany came through the European qualification this year in Stavanger, Norway, after winning the European B Championships. They beat Latvia in the World Championship playoff to get here. And of course, Germany John Yar and his team were the first team to qualify from the Olympic qualifying event in Füssen in Germany. So they've had a great season. And they're having a great World Championship so far.
In Germany, Johnny Yar's last championship. So you want to go out on a high, finishing as high as possible in this event.
Are you announcing his retirement, Alison?
He told us that in the interview earlier on in the week, so I'm not telling him, telling tales. He has told the world already. Although they can say these things and then they can think, oh no, I'll just do one more, because it's quite addictive, isn't it?
Like Sir Steve Redgrave, the Great Britain rower, who said after his 4th Olympics, if everyone sees me in a boat, just shoot me. And then he went on to win a 5th gold.
that's back 8 on its own here.
Jeez.
There's been some rumours about Thomas Olsrud as well. The Norwegians are going so well.
I didn't think it'd go that far.
No, I didn't either.
We'll watch that
I
one.
didn't think it'd go that far. So. What'd you get on it? 6.
I didn't think you threw yours very hard, Carter.
No, I didn't. I wanted to give it to you guys.
Okay,
but
let them know.
And back on our feature sheet as well, here's this Canadian team skipped by Kevin Cooey, and the reports coming out of Canada are that this team will not be playing together next year. They're going to all go their separate ways, and Pat Simmons will probably return to
there.
Real close.
playing in Saskatchewan. I'm not too sure about Rycroft and Thiessen. Kevin Cooey,
It's certainly a huge commitment for Pat Simmons, all that travelling.
and Kevin Cooey reported to be lining up with Mark Kennedy and Ben Hebert from Kevin Martin's team, and Brent Lang from Glenn Howard's team. And that's bringing its own political discussions as well with at the Canadian National Championships, the Briar. They're going to introduce a Team Canada for the first time next year, and of course, if the Canadian champions all split up, then who's going to be Team Canada next year at the Briar? So
Interesting times in Canadian curling.
Room.
The USA do have a different set of problems. Probably more that there aren't quite enough curlers in the USA yet. This team have been flying the flag for a few years. Although it was a different American team for the Olympic Games.
yeah, we've not actually seen a huge amount of Pete Fenson at the World Championships in the last 2 years.
I think you can kill it pretty easily.
It's been John Schuster that's been at the last 2 Olympics skipping teams.
Fenson played in 2011 in Saskatchewan when they finished 10th.
Okay.
And also 2010 when they finished 4th. That was the one
never
that
like freezing when it's not fully
Kevin
buried
Cooey
like that.
won in
It's actually
Italy.
a pretty tough shot. Like I'd hate to slide to here or something, right? And my preference would be to kill it, but you have a look.
Just 11 then.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
I don't mind this with hack.
It'll run.
Gotta get to the nose. That's gotta be my choice. Must be
Like
11.
killing it.
I don't
Is
mind
that
it.
Is
If you
that
like
11 or what is that?
Kind of like the freeze, but not really likes this. I'm just worried he's just gonna draw in there. Yeah, 11. Let's make it.
Okay.
Roll the spot. Okay, think that's max?
Yep.
Again, great communications, and we see this time in, time out from watching the Canadian team is that we might not even be needed, Alison. There's so much discussion and a complete agreement on what needs to be done with the shot in question.
You know, and it is a great privilege to hear it all.
And super sweeping here from Rycroft and Thiessen. Can they get it through though? They cannot. Just a little bit short of pace. Heard them say that they were trying to kill that Yellowstone, and by kill it they mean put it out of play, put it through the rings, and that definitely didn't have enough weight to be able to do that.
Okay, we're shot.
Slight frustration, but yes, they are shot stone.
Well, you probably want to get the button here. Yeah.
Probably not, huh?
Touch the button. Yeah.
Let's have a look at Sheet C, Russia and Japan. Check on how they're faring. Mr. Galsky with the final stone for the Russian team.
Like to just catch the top of the button, probably. Yeah. He's shot.
Super's just keeping a close eye,
That's so scary. Speed.
hoping to add to the 2 he already has there, and yes they do. It's 3 for Russia. Nicely played by the Russian 4th, and they take a 3-2 lead over Japan. Back in our featured game, Canada against the United States.
Yeah, and I think I just heard Ryan Brunt and Pete Fenson saying that America are lying short at the moment.
Line's good. Okay, line's good. Top of the button.
We're there.
Whoa.
We're there.
Whoa.
We're there.
Whoa.
Important to stay in front of the T line
Line's
here.
good. Top of the button. Whoa. Line's real good. Whoa.
We're all to it.
Just a little bit too much running, and that's a massive pocket for Kevin Cue to draw into here. Don't think he'll want to throw it too dissimilarly to his last one, actually. Can afford to have a little bit of running and
maybe at the sweeping.
And bump that yellow on the button a bit. We must remember that they did sweep it from hand the last time, so a similar throw required.
Where was I? Back 12?
Yes. What kind of weight are you throwing in this one? Just cold draw?
Straight draw.
And here's our hog-to-hog timer at the bottom of your screen.
Wait only. Wait there. T-line.
Looking for somewhere around 14 and a half to 15 seconds.
Don't touch it then. No line. Whoa, right off.
So maybe a little bit pacey.
No.
Well, a good shot. Looks like that Canadian stone might well be lying shot.
Kevin just asking what they think.
I don't know if we can. If they're tight on ours back there.
It's close.
Oh, you just touch it. Yeah.
There's enough.
Just to draw. Yeah. And just make sure.
Oh,
we
I'm
touch
not
it.
sure.
Well, one thing's for sure,
Same
there's a
draw.
little bit of gap
Right, do I
between
even
that
use a
red and
different
yellow
one?
stone that's frozen on, so if Pete Fenton did come down and bump it, then there's a good chance that they do have a shot to score 2 here.
Canada red, United States yellow.
Just touch. Right? Yeah, just touch the red going by and we're good. I'm not taking any more ice or anything.
So same throw required really for Pete Fenton.
Girls
And
anymore,
it would be
right?
terrific for this American side if they could bounce back with a deuce after the disappointment of the second end.
Yeah, you could do with this being a good one, not just physically but mentally as well. Last stone of this third end.
Hit it then, yep. Bro, line's good.
Immediately down with the brushes again here.
Yep.
Joe Polo and Sean Rajeski really going coast to coast on this one. That needs it for line more than weight now. And does it hold? Oh, it's just bounced the yellow. Hasn't moved it enough to only score 1, or will it be a 2?
It bounced on both.
Take this one out of here. Yeah. You said same.
So 1 yellow, definitely.
I'm going to stick my neck out and say just 1 here, Alison.
Yeah, me too. It was a good effort from Fenton. And we're talking millimetres. They have asked for the measure. And here comes the umpire.
I think you get so far inside to hit your own like that.
I know. I didn't think
That wouldn't have been the least of my worries.
You know, I kind of stood up when it kind of got to the house there. I didn't think that it was close to that. Yeah. I don't know.
One of the great things about the sport of curling is the camaraderie amongst not only your teammates but the opposing teams too. Pat Simmons and Ryan Brunn just discussing that last stone played by Pete Fenton, having a bit of a laugh and joke about it.
Well, they've all been in these scenarios themselves, so they all understand. And we'll see which one the umpire points to.
Whoa. So it only went to 3 on the first one, and then the second went all the way past 6 on the gauge, so almost an embarrassing measure. So that was a miss.
Yep, disappointment for United States. But it all means that after 3, it's all square. Canada 2, United States 2. Still a few smiles around as we head for end number 4.
Reverse his too. I got it wrong in my head because I thought my draw was.
USA still talking about it there. The latest on the other games. On sheet B, Sweden 2, Denmark 1. Third end, Russia 3, Japan 2. Third end as well. And on sheet D, it's Germany 2, Norway 2. Let's take another look at this last stone of this third end. And he needed to just nudge the yellow a little bit more, the red a little bit more, and hang on to his yellow. Wasn't enough. And just one yellow to the USA after the measure.
Okay, Ryan.
Good.
You're watching live coverage from the World Men's Curling Championship 2014 in the Beijing Capital Gymnasium in Beijing in China. Round robin action coming to you live. And our feature game in this session is Canada against the United States. As you can see, it's 2-2. We're into the fourth end.
Yeah, keep going for line. Keep going. Keep going.
And one or two chances for both teams. One or two mistakes occurring.
USA deciding to go top 4 again here.
Well, I think it's actually in.
I think
it in?
they were looking for a tight guard here.
Too much line.
Well, it's plenty in already.
Ryan Brunt,
You
the
get the same on
American lead, 85%.
Trying to roll or double?
This should be fairly straight.
Yeah, mine did.
It's opposite
I mean,
number.
it's double, but we
Very
just
similar
gotta stick around
stats.
somewhere, right?
84% for Nolan Thiessen.
Normal weight?
Yeah, normal weight. Weight's good.
Yep. Whoa.
Yep.
Yep. Real hard.
Hard.
Hold. Hard. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Go, Kevin, go.
Right over, right over, right over, right over. Okay.
Canadians starting to move the play over towards that corner guard
Shouldn't do much.
with a nice hit and roll there from Nolan Thiessen.
Joe Polo, also 84%.
Whoa.
American second.
Whoa.
Ryan,
Go
get
way
away over
Ryan.
there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, Joe.
When you let yours go,
I don't even know what turning to throw here.
probably the end.
You like here?
Yep.
Just here. Yep.
So Carter Rycroft
Gotta go.
made his first international appearance at the Olympic
Hard.
Winter Games in
Hard.
2002, all the way back there,
Real hard, 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 hard.
where they won the silver medal playing with Kevin Martin. And didn't return until 2010 when he played the World Men's in Cortina d'Ampezzo. Of course, winning gold there with Kevin Cooey's team.
Been with the team 8 years.
That's cracking.
Yep, 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 yep.
Yep, yep. Jeez, I don't know.
Good, that's a good throw.
Take the double. It's
You can be as thin
81%.
as you want. You don't want to. Half is probably the max. That's probably too thick.
I don't need to ask you, Logan. You can just listen to Kevin.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think I'm just going to go for a second lunch or something. Just leave them to it.
Real hard. Hard. Roll on top.
Well, again, a miss on the inside on that handle coming off the barrier. Really wanted to make both of those yellow stones leave the house. Again, the play is just starting to edge its way over behind the corner guard, and I think that's what
Can you make it this way?
Pete Fenson isn't
Take it this way,
liking.
it's gonna
The
curl
other
this
problem
way.
he has is
There's
this
room,
corner
guys.
guard.
2 up.
Naturally, you would want to play this takeout on the out turn, but this red stone just at the bottom of your picture is just in the line of sight here for Sean Rzeski and might even be in the way of the path.
Yep. Whoa.
Sean's a little bit below. We saw him make a couple of misses in that last end.
Yep. Whoa.
75%.
Okay, good try.
Been with this team for 15 years. Sean,
Ryan.
Well, we watched that one.
Yeah, you had to keep the weight reasonably
Feel
firm
like
there
board?
to keep the stone running straight. But
This
just
is
hits
right
it
where you threw
a
that
little
draw.
bit too high, and
Didn't do much.
that rolls out of the rings.
Joe just
I started my draw on the center line though, like that might make a little difference.
Joe just threw in here. You guys didn't see that? I don't think this will curl a lot.
Well, I agree, Kevin. This should be a reasonably straight line going towards the barrier.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Big board!
Whoa. No.
80% for Pat Simmons. Let's see where he ends up here.
Yep, yep, yep.
Well, hits on the wrong side there, and for me that's I've had to be a little bit critical of Pat Simmons there. It would be that maybe he wasn't quite convinced by the information he was getting from Kevin Cooey, and he didn't get given more ice, and as a result he probably threw it a little bit more positively.
Whoa. Just clean. Just clean. Up. Good now. Now you clean it. Clean.
Yeah, but you've got to go with the skip, don't you?
Well, that's the kind of the common thought, Alison, but to be honest, it maybe should be more the thrower, because they're the one that has to make the shot at the end of the day. They're the one that has to throw it in such a way that they're going to make the shot, and if they don't believe in where the brush has been placed, then it's going to be very difficult for them to execute the shot as they would normally throw it. So certainly something that we've been working on a lot in our team is that we need to make sure that the player in the hack's happy with where the brush is, otherwise we don't think they're going to make the shot. So, which is nice for me as a skip, because there's less responsibility on my shoulders.
Sure though, don't lose it.
Yep.
It might curl here at the end.
Like
It's
a
not.
team
You
decision.
gotta go, come on.
We gotta go wait, Kevin.
Line's good, guard.
Interesting also the two types of brooms or
Come on.
brushes there.
Well, another miss here for Pat Simmons. We saw him miss a draw heavy on the same line 2 ends ago. Threw one through the house,
We gotta go wait, Kevin.
and that one
Line's
comes
good,
up
guard.
short.
There it goes. Come on.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Still no real pressure on Canada in this end. There's nothing on the centre line. And of course, when you have the last stone, you want to keep the centre open in case things do start to get wrong, and then you can play one shot into the middle to save the day.
Yeah. I think it should be the same as this one here, right?
Yeah, it should be the same as this track.
On the contrary, if you don't have the last stone, you want to kind of block up the middle and make things as difficult as possible for your opposite team to score.
So we're down to the skip stones. Fenson 75%. A couple of mistakes.
Go if you have to, but the line's not good. Just a biter. Just a biter. Now go if you need to. Yep, it's curling now. Go. Go.
We're all the way in there.
I know, we got to get it buried.
You're good, Barry. You're good, you're good.
We're in there. We're in there.
Nice shot here by Pete
Good sweep,
Fenson.
guys.
Really needed to make sure that one stayed north of the tee line.
Roll over there.
Didn't want to leave Kevin Cooey a chance to freeze around there.
Easy normal.
You can't go anymore because you go another foot or so.
Yeah. Just place the corner facing.
What kind of weight is that, Kevin?
Just easy normal.
So Kevin Cooey, the first of his 2 stones, he's 85%. So good stats for the tournament.
Yeah, really impressive shooting for the Canadian skip.
Okay.
Just would have liked to hit that one a fraction thinner to
Good throw.
freeze that Yellowstone or even make the double takeout. But probably erred on the safe side there.
Over in Sheet B, we have Sweden against Denmark, 2-1-2 Sweden. In the third end, Rasmus Zajerna with the final stone. Danes have struggled a little bit this week. What does the whistling do?
Well, it makes them stop sweeping, I can tell you that much. But I don't know too many sweepers that would probably put up with that kind of treatment.
I don't know if it's done the trick though.
Well, it's certainly reduced the damage a little bit. They're still giving up a steal of 1 there though. And after 3 ends, it's Sweden 3, Denmark 1.
Is there much whistling goes on? Something you do?
I probably would if I could, but no. I think Rasmus is the only one that I know that to do it, and he's always done it. First time I was aware of it was when he was playing the World Juniors against me.
I guess if his team's used to it and it works for them, then fair enough. So last stone of this 4th end in our featured game from Kevin Cooey.
Yeah, just needs to make a hit and stick here. And they seem reasonably happy with this one. There's no real concern. And that nice controlled weight, doesn't need to hit it right on the nose because it's a nice soft weight. That does enough to score here in the 4th.
So there we are after 4, and it's now Canada 3, United States 2.
Go back to what we were saying about Rasmus. I think the first time I played against him, I thought he'd maybe lost his voice or something. That's the reason that he was whistling.
Sometimes though the arena can be quite busy and noisy, and it's one way of just sharply getting the attention of your teammates, so it really works for them.
Absolutely, it cuts through all the roaring that goes on. If you're playing in we're in an environment where there's only 4 sheets out there, but if you're playing in a club and there's 8 sheets of ice and you've got teams roaring either side of you, then it's almost impossible to hear your skip and what they're trying to communicate. So
I know some of the teams in Sochi found that a bit of a problem, particularly the Russian team actually, that we're going to see just now. Russia against Japan in the third end, 3-2 to Russia.
yeah, it looks like they're lying 1 against here. We need a good shot here from Yusuke Maruzumi for them to score. Well, I know they were dreadfully disappointed after a really good Pacific Championships to go to the Olympic qualifiers and then be bottom of the heat. They expected a lot more than that. That's a nice shot from Maruzumi.
Yep, they really didn't perform, did they, in Fusen? Not what they can do. They're right in this one though. Russia 3, Japan 3.
Mine's a little tighter. Tighter than what? Should be okay though. Try and get it tight. Mine's good.
This looks in.
Oh, it's in. Okay, it's fine.
That's fine.
That slid just as good.
Something that the lead players do have to deal with is generally any stones that are slightly different from the rest of the pack, and that's what they were just discussing there, that the stone ran just as well as the other stones do. Obviously feel that one maybe showed up as a little bit slow in practice. Again, the corner guard goes up from the US.
Hard, hold it. Hard.
Hard line.
And you see what I was talking about before, Canada without the last stone advantage, they're going to try and block up the middle of the sheet, while the USA will try and make the play go towards the corners, and they'll try and keep the centre reasonably open.
And you can see the clock, the top right hand side, so still plenty of time for both teams.
Right behind the guard. What's that? Is it right behind the guard? Yeah. Yeah, that's that. A little bit on this side. Okay. Oh, like 7, 8. Okay.
I was just going to say, who's that tape?
If you haven't watched too much curling before, you'll notice the two different brush heads there. There's one from the American.
Yep. You gotta go hard.
Yeah, see Sean Rajewski there with the hair broom. They normally put that furthest away from the stone. That'll be the first one that runs through the path that the stone's going to come down, and that kind of clears the frost a little bit for the synthetic pad to wear down the pebble and have the maximum effect on the stone. So they tried to play a shot there that is a good shot to use when you've got the last stone. We'll come back to that in a second.
Yep, let's have a look at Germany against Norway on sheet D. See how Thomas Ulsrud fares with this final stone in the third end. See the sweepers doing their stuff there for Norway.
It's not bad. Ken.
And the upshot of that, I think, was just one for Norway.
Yeah, just go like this.
Yeah, it certainly was after 3 ends there. Norway 3, Germany 2.
What are you playing?
So back to our featured game. Canada against the USA. Polo.
Yeah, going back to what we were discussing before, the second shot, the second lead stone that the Americans use is actually a shot that one of Kevin Curry's biggest rivals has really championed over the last few years, is that kind of tap back, just pushing the opposition's lead stone back to the tee line, and that was been used a lot by Glenn Howard. It's a really good option to make sure that you have access to the 4-foot circle, and after that one you can start to try and make a play around the corner guard to set up a multiple score.
Yeah, providing you can do it well. It works well.
Yeah, absolutely, and that one wasn't perfect. It kind of chipped off it rather than getting right round the centre guard and tapping it back.
No roll.
Well, that's a really good shot by Carter Rycroft. Makes a perfect roll.
A little bit slow up here compared to what it's down here.
Take a little off of that one still, or same?
Yeah, actually, I think it's going to be close to the same, right?
Yeah.
Just hits a little inside the nose and makes a nice soft roll across the centre line, and finds a really nice spot there.
Yep. Anyway, one.
Well, we're going away from the home end this time, and this in turn is the kind of the curly hand. And there we see once again over curls, and that's an outrageous piece of luck.
Sorry, Joe. Good throw.
There. just kind of lost that one in the sweeping and rubs off 2 guards and runs through and bumps one at that red back. So these things happen.
Yeah, he'll take that. It happened in the Scotland game last night
Straight. We know this too. Real straight.
against Denmark.
Bit of a wry smile on the American's face.
Even if you end up doing that, try for.
If you like the end, like whatever.
Like, just.
I see not taking masses of ice here, and I think they are just calling a controlled takeout weight. Don't really have to do anything too fancy here. Just make that Yellowstone go away.
Control hard, down. Hard, real hard. Real hard. Gotta go hard. Hard, guys, go hard.
Have they done enough to remove this one?
Okay.
So they certainly have, and that's actually not too bad a result, despite the early panic.
Good.
Let's head over to sheet C. Russia against Japan, 4th end, and it's 3-all.
You just go right there, right on it.
That's out. Skalski with the last stone.
Like another inch, right?
To wait and see what he faces at the other end.
Yeah, he just needs to be fully in the forefoot here to score. And have the sweepers got this one right? They certainly have. Right down onto the pot lid. And put one on the board for Russia. Kill draw from Alexei Skalski. And after 4 ends, it's Russia 4, Japan 3.
And Russia looking for their only their 2nd win. He's going to catch this guard again. This time, not so fortunate. And where it ends up.
It's just slower.
I think you gotta be high or it'll over curl.
Yeah.
Like, just halfway's good.
Okay.
Meanwhile, another miss from Sean Rujeski.
I mean, I guess we could go this way, right?
We know that.
Really not managing to hang with the Canadians at the moment.
Just a 1.5, eh?
Yeah, you don't
That's not
have
too
to
much.
be.
Ice?
Like a bit less?
Yeah.
Yes. There you go.
I'm thinking
You don't
edge
have to be a 1.5 if you're throwing this turn like that.
So Rujeski just over curled there and crashed the guard. And Canada are going to try and lock up this centre line.
Two.
Hard for
At the
line.
moment,
No, line's
looking
good.
very
Easy.
hard to
Line's
see
good.
Two. Cleaned it.
how the Americans are going to be able to score here.
Whoa.
Whoa. He just needs to stop. Stay with it.
Whoa.
Whoa. Off. Sit, baby. It's not bad, eh?
I think it's okay, just. Yeah.
Oh, finds a pretty good spot there. I think the priority now for the Americans is
I gotta peel off a couple of
to try and open up the centre of play so they can get some sort of a score on the board here. Certainly don't want to give up a steal before half-time.
Feel free to catch one of those.
Oh, everything's pretty well guarded up there. Channels blocked.
Run straighter.
I know, that's on that side.
Yep, real hard. Whoa.
To make up with his 2nd stone.
Whoa. Fun.
Well, opens up that left-hand side. Just trying to give themselves some options down there to make a score.
No. Yeah.
Switching turns.
Yeah. What are you throwing? Like a 3?
I think that's what we want, don't you?
I do, yeah.
I mean, doesn't have to be. He's running it.
Yeah.
Well, what's your guess?
5
5 feet.
Yeah, I'd say 4 or 5 feet.
So you can almost throw what you've been throwing. You want it just short?
Yeah, we
Take
want to
it.
be fairly tight.
Just short right there?
I think that's enough. Is that tight ice at all? I mean, we just got to get just to the line.
Well, it's not max ice, I think, the way, judging by theirs,
This
are they
shouldn't
throwing
run
them
at
pretty
all,
good?
eh? Yeah. So throw what I've been throwing for T-line, we'll stop short.
Should be pretty close, yeah.
It's pretty close. That's a little less, I think, than
You can.
Line's okay.
Go then.
Can we
Line's good.
Go then.
Where are you? 3.
Line's good. Just
On the right out wide at the moment
doesn't need
here.
a curl.
Whoa,
Doesn't need a curl.
Weight's good.
Clean. Yeah.
Just throwing a guard here.
Whoa, whoa, never.
Whoa.
Never.
And a nice shot there by Kevin Cooey, nice and tight to the rings. And I think really forces Pete Fenton to try and throw a freeze or a draw and try and get into shot position now.
You know the speed here? Hey, Joe. You know the speed here?
Yeah. What? You said yeah.
If you're the Reds, you're certainly in a
We knew the
much
speed.
better position
Yeah,
here.
we do.
If my weight's close, that's got to be just about enough ice.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a good conversation for Pete Fenton to have with Joe Polo. Is fair enough if you're the skip and you call a shot, then obviously the sweepers are going to try and help you make that shot, but it needs to be a team effort and everyone contributing to making it. And if the sweepers aren't confident in the weight on that certain path or on a line that hasn't really been throwing that much, then the sweepers aren't going to be able to do as good a job, or you might have a little bit less chance of actually making that shot. So I think they know this is a really important shot. Any sort of a mistake here, and it's going to be very difficult to see how they're not going to lose some points.
How much is curling?
Benches looking on behind them.
Are you good at this, or else we double peel the guard?
Oh, this is fine. I actually like it. Okay. It doesn't look like you have excess ice to me, but I'm not positive.
There, just a little more. 80. You said 80, 85.
Yeah.
Easy. Easy line. Line's good. Line's good, guys.
Room.
Line's real good.
Right on the button.
Line's really good.
Top of the button.
Like plenty.
Line's good. Right on top of the button.
Well, they're really just throwing to 6
Gotta get
inches
the
here,
button.
Max.
Hard. Go, gotta get the button.
Sweepers need to get this one down onto the button. Have they got it? Is it shot position?
Oh, it's another very close one. Not sure.
I said, did we make it? If we did, good job.
Let's kick this one. I don't think it moved it.
Oh, I think, right. I was going to say yes, now I think no.
I think it might just be red as well, Alison.
I mean, I think you got to.
Of course, Canadians throwing the reds
He
and
still has this.
US throwing the yellows.
It doesn't matter, no.
Yeah.
We just got to plug the hole, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say right there. I mean, in an ideal world, right? We get it to here.
If we could, yeah.
While they think
I
about
think
that, let's have a quick look
with that
at
ice-
Germany against Norway. Fourth end, 3-2 Norway at the moment.
But I thought I was a hair soft on mine.
You think that's
Germany,
max?
So that should be close.
Felix Schultz with the last stone.
Think that's max still?
Can you be here?
I think if we can get it in the three. I mean, we got to be careful. I think he's still going to tap this for 2. The intern.
And safely
I think he's running
out
in
that yellow, so Germany get 2 there.
If I throw it, I just threw
That
that's
gives them a 4-3 lead over unbeaten Norway.
Yeah, maybe an upset on the cards there. Back in our featured sheet, we just heard Kevin Cooey discussing with his team. Do you think that's max ice? And what they're kind of talking about there is it's really important to have that clarity with your team, or certainly for the thrower to know whether they've got maximum or minimum ice, and that obviously dictates on how they're going to throw the stone to make the shot.
Get off it, it's got to curl. Got to curl. Curl. Jeez.
Willing it to curl there, but it wouldn't.
So, same shot again, perhaps.
Even less, eh?
Just try and give it a little bump, and you never know if the line's really good, they might be able to sneak around those guards and bump that yellow to score 2.
We're just throwing the draw in there and tap it.
Yeah, it's right off the side of ours for 2, right?
It just goes right in there. We're just gonna tap it. Yeah. Should we take the same ice?
So you're throwing what? A couple feet more?
Yeah, you want a little less ice?
No.
No? I don't think so.
Yeah, and one of the interesting differences between these two teams is quite often Kevin Cooey and Pat Simmons, they'll be absolutely clear on what the shot is that's getting played before Kevin Cooey comes down the ice to the hack, and then the communication with the sweepers is about how they make that shot, whereas Pete Fenson, he has a chat with Ryan Brunt about it, then he comes down the ice and they discuss what shot to play, and they're not talking about how to actually make the shot. Has he made this one? Just rubs the guard, and will he do the same as Joe Polo? Not quite. Great attempt. Just an inch higher, and that could have been a score of 2.
So close to that guard. So the guard did its job. Made it as difficult for USA as possible.
Don't touch him, Nolan.
Is it definitely 1?
Huh?
Sorry.
I did, but then when I looked up there, from there, doesn't it look like us?
There looks like us for sure.
Jeez,
Get a fire on.
Fuck.
Well, once again, Canada red, US yellow.
What do you think? Everybody watching?
Well, one thing's for sure, the umpire isn't going to give us a look at the dial.
If you're USA, you want it to be yellow. If you're Canada and supporting that team, you want it to be red. And it is red.
So that first one did turn out to be slightly misswept, and it's going to be a steal here in the 5th end, and some daylight starting to show between these two teams.
For sure. When I looked at it,
Slightly unlucky.
when I went down there, though, looked at it
But
like,
Canadian good play, getting them to this point, putting pressure
Yeah, I said when I
on the
looked, it was
United
over
States
top.
in that final
Then
stone.
when I
Canada 4, United States 2. So the team is having their refreshment and their half-time break and chat about the second half of the game and what's gone on previously.
Yeah, they get a full 5 minutes for that before they have to restart for the 6th end. Here's a look at the key moments of the first half. Second end, Canada trailing USA by 1-0, and this is Kevin Cooey throwing his final stone after complete miss by Pete Fenson with his last stone. It's just a draw to the paint. Put 2 on the board for the Canadians. 2-1, third end. Much more stones in play here. And here's Pete Fenson with a glorious opportunity to just tap back that red shot stone and return with a 2 after that disappointment in the second end. Big scrub from Urjeski and Polo, but they can't quite hold this one straight. Over curls and just bounces that yellow second shot stone back, and after a measure it would only be 1. 2 each after 3 ends. Then here we are in the 4th end. USA playing a good end and keeping the Canadians at bay, and Kevin Cooey would be left with a control weight takeout to score 1, against the 2 yellow counters. And after 5 ends, it's Canada 4, USA 2.
Elsewhere, Sweden against Denmark. 5th end, 3-2 to Sweden. And Oscar Eriksson with the final stone, looking to increase that lead. There you see what's going on at the other end. Knocking his other head a bit closer, and 2 for Sweden.
2.
That's now 5-2 for that young Swedish side. Fancy to do well here in Beijing. Elsewhere on sheet C, it's Russia 4, Japan 3, in 5th. And on sheet D, another close one, Germany 4, Norway 3. Smiles all round in the Canadian camp. I don't think, Logan, they've had to push themselves too much as yet in this game.
There's some in the.
No, they haven't. The American top end aren't quite playing their A game at the moment, so that's kind of letting them off the hook. The Canadians haven't been at their brilliant best either. Pat Simmons with a couple of misses along the way, but I get the feeling as much as anything, the team that wins this game is going to be the team who can manage the ice conditions the best and really work out what the different paths are. There's no doubt that the ice has been a little bit one-sided in places, and there's a little bit less curl going towards the barrier than there is coming off the barrier.
Had a big sigh there from Pete Fenson. I won't necessarily be happy when he looks at that.
Yeah, and it's the draws there's been the big difference, 20% of difference between the two teams. So USA needing to certainly lift that one if they want to win this game. They're now trailing by 2 points, and they're going to have to throw a lot of draws if they want to get back into this one.
So what will their coach have been chatting about at half-time?
Good line.
Well, I don't think there's been that much of a gulf between the two teams, and I think there'll be that Al Hackner and Derek Brown would have been saying that to the American side and saying that, look, we're not that far away here. It's just a case of getting on top of the ice conditions and making a couple of draws.
As simple as that.
But I think one of the main things is to know that, I'm sure Pete Fenson knows this anyway, he's such an experienced skip, but they'll know not to panic. They're only 2 shots behind, and the priority at the moment is just to try and get 2 back on the board and even things up. Still a long way to go in this game.
Yep, just keep on the tails of Canada and you won't be far away. So the ice has been cleaned and swept. So we'll see what how these stones slide in this end. Nolan Thiessen, great stats from him in this game, 93%.
Let it stop then. Trying, but it's still 5.
Line's fine.
Line's fine. Doesn't need a curl. Just let it stop.
Just let it stop. Just let it stop.
Attaboy, Nolan. Good shot.
Okay, perfect setup again from Nolan Thiessen.
That one must curl a little more, eh?
Back here, right?
4, 5.
Yeah.
Okay, they're still just trying to work out this set of stones a little bit, and thinking that one might curl a little bit more than the first one. Ryan Brunt only playing 75% through the first half.
5.
Not really great stats for a lead player. You're looking for them up around the 85 plus mark to be mixing it with the world's best, like Nolan Thiessen.
Yeah, way behind him.
Keep going. Go right under the guard.
Really?
Go get the paint. Go. Line them up.
Probably jams, eh? Can't double
Good
peel it.
jam.
Kevin Cooey asking Carter Rycroft just to peel this top yellow off. Not really an option to play the double here. They feel like the second yellow is just going to go on to the reds in the house.
He's 83% for this game.
Yep.
Which isn't too shabby either.
Whoa.
Well, there's that option to make the double that way. If you are wondering about where the stats come from, all the shots are measured out of 4. Yeah, the score is 0, 1, 2, a 3 or a 4 depending on how well the shot's executed. The called shot is executed anyway.
It's still a little bit open to interpretation, so there are variables. So it is a guide for people, and that's all.
Yeah, absolutely. It can be a little bit subjective, but also there's I guess it can be like any sport where officials might not have as much of an understanding of the sport as the guys who are out there playing the sport. So they can't necessarily determine what's a good result and what's not a good result. So it is a guide, as you say, Alison.
Things can happen when the shot's thrown unexpectedly as well. Okay, what about Russia against Japan? Sheet C, 5th end. Here he is again, Suki Morizumi.
Yeah, a big opportunity here. Just an open takeout really to score 3, and he hits that one right on the nut.
I'll be pleased with that end. 3 there for Japan, 3 yellow counting. Gives them a 6-4 lead over the Russians. Back in our featured game, this is the big one for us in this session. Live commentary on Canada against the USA.
Off. Good, up by a little more than half. No.
Kind of down in there by that one.
Where are we going to go with it? Right here?
Top of the logo there.
So leaving that double, yeah.
It's an interesting call here. Pete Fenson clearly not that happy with that corner guard that's already there and wanting to throw another one, but now Kevin Cooey deciding that it's time to make a move in this end and throw the guard.
I think this will get there. Okay.
And I guess that reflects his game, 75%. Pat Simmons.
Yeah, I think generally he's had a pretty good game, apart from 2 draws coming in the same direction, where he had one that came up short of the rings and one that went through the house. So, barring those 2, he would be in the mid-80s.
Get off the curl.
So that's kind of illustration of what we were talking about in relation to statistics.
Gotta go. Come on. Easy.
Whoa!
Stay with it.
Whoa!
No.
Good spot. Real good bat.
It's a little bit high.
So I don't think Pete Fenson really expected that one, that call. He maybe thought that Canada might rush out and throw the peel one more time, and then he could make a play in the ones in the house and try and roll behind the corner guard, but instead they're having to run back the centre here to try and open things up. And that's the absolute worst result they could have got. One of those ones that you're so close to making it perfect, but you just get the worst result imaginable.
Good have this, right?
Yeah, even outside center. Yeah, that's sure. Yeah.
Wasn't too much reaction from Pete Fenson there.
I think you got to take the runaway first, though, eh?
Yeah, I agree.
You're going to throw a little less weight?
Yeah.
Where are we going? Are we corner freezing?
Yeah. Hair less weight, though. Okay. Let them know, because it makes a big difference in the finish, eh? So let them know.
There he is, and this is where it's going.
I got a 3.
Whoa. It's a hair less.
I got a hair less.
Clean it then.
Picking.
Hard line. Hard.
Picking hard.
Oh, wait only. Where are you?
Sweeping it now.
Where are you?
2.5.
It's over curling.
No, it's not.
Let it die.
Stay with it. No, you got to get off it or else it's going to tee it up.
Don't tee it up. Sit.
Well,
That was a bit kind of yes and no, and shall we or shall we not? And
yeah, I think early on in the running of that stone that Pat Simmons certainly felt like the stone might have picked up something and turned a little bit earlier than they thought. Definitely looked like the handle was starting to turn in an unnatural way. Here's Sean Rajewski only playing 59% today. Oh, hit that one a little bit too thick. He only gets one of those red stones away. Leaves a couple of guards up. To be honest, that doesn't really change the situation too much for the Canadians. They'll just throw that same draw around again, probably.
What are you worried
Don't
about?
have to be in, but
I think he's going to play that.
might as well be top.
I mean, but the problem is though, if you put it here and he makes this, you're forced to hit anyway almost again, right? So,
Like at least if you're in,
I mean, we could take it away by going
longer.
here, but if he makes this little hit and roll, then what are you doing?
What do you like?
One or the other. Either dead come around or short.
What?
He just said don't tween it. Either like play the dead come around or play short. We're kind of okay with either one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the discussion here, Alison, is they're either throwing a kind of tight guard and staying out of the rings and making the USA play a peel or a run back, or if they do choose to go into the rings, then they want to be kind of right down there and frozen almost on that red stone. But the problem is then that USA would probably play a takeout and roll to the wing, and they'd probably be forced to hit, and they might not actually make their steal. So they're pushing pretty hard for the steal here in the sixth end.
Where are you? 6. Well,
5. Hard! Come on. Hard, gotta go!
See the handles come right out of this one as well, and this one's going to wreck on the guard.
close.
But gets their second option anyway.
That just grabbed in your hand.
I don't know what for. Shit, I thought I got the path there.
Actually, the best way to probably make it,
I think
cross the
that looked
top.
like it did the same as mine, yeah.
Because then I roll a shooter.
I must think
And I
high
have,
side on the
he's going under here, and I draw here for one. Right?
And even if we just double them off, it changes up the turn for him.
Well, a good run back required here from Pete Fenton. And if you heard the
Trying to make it
conversation he had with
across the
Ryan
face.
Brunt there, he wants to hit it across the face of the red stone, so he wants to drive it back onto the right-hand side of the red on the button as you look at it, so that his throwing stone rolls away and opens up that left-hand side of the sheet for his final draw.
Benson, 73%.
Well, didn't make it exactly as he called, but
It worked.
well, the red's off the button at least for now. Unfortunately, because they didn't hit it quite correctly, that yellow throwing stone is stopped on the 4-foot line and blocks the draw really for his last one. Which could just make his final stone that little bit trickier.
That was a bit of a light kick.
Yeah.
My weight would have been good, eh?
Been close, yep. A sliver more is good.
Kevin Kuwait is having a good game, 86%. The Canadian skip.
Gotta get through the hole. Whoa then, whoa then.
Whoa!
Oh!
7!
Whoa!
Close!
Way off!
Just let it flop. Just let it flop.
No, just picked up at the end there and stopped before the tee line. You could just see the handle start spinning at the end.
Mine won't get to there.
Absolutely tiny things can affect the passage of the stone. Doesn't have to be much.
Yeah, that's how it went into there.
Cleaned at the half-time break.
Okay. Same 90. Yeah.
Pete Fenson's going to have to be careful here. Definitely doesn't want to give away a steal. And he's going to have to negotiate that yellow stone in the left-hand side of the sheet. If that wasn't there, it would be a much more straightforward shot to just throw one onto the button. But just needing to give the line a little bit more attention.
And the USA won just 2 wins. They really could do with taking a Canadian scalp here. Keep them in the hunt.
Line's good. Line's good. Line's good. T-line. It's good. Plenty good. It's all there. It's all there. Need a kiss.
And that was nicely played.
Hey. Maybe his didn't pick.
No.
I mean, it did in there because it stopped, right? It's going further.
Yeah. They're all just going like that, or what?
Well, I mean, mine did. You see where mine got to, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's just.
Maybe it did, or maybe it didn't. By the way, it's 1.
That was a really important score for the Americans. Don't want to be giving up steals on the even ends. Need to make sure that you score and keep themselves in the game. Even still, it's only a 1-shot game. They don't have the last stone, but the Americans, they don't need to push too hard here in the 7th end if they don't want to. I think ideally they just want to make sure that Canada scores 1 here, worst case in this end.
Let's quickly have a look at Germany against Norway. Get the latest on this one. 4-3, you can see, to Germany at the moment. And we're in the 5th end. Thomas Olsrud, the final stone. And those fantastic Norwegian outfits.
Big effort here from Pettersson and spot. Squeaks past the guard. And will it be a 2? Doesn't quite get enough on the inside. And it's only a score of 1.
Yep, levels things up after 5.
Yeah, it looked like they almost got caught in between shots there. They could have hit the other side as well and chipped it through the gap for 2.
Yep.
Went a little bit greedy for the 3 and jammed it on the back one. So tied game at half-time there.
I know you're quite keen on those types of trousers, Logan, aren't you?
Yeah, I've even got a suit jacket as well.
The Norwegian one's looking a bit like fireworks today.
They're actually called paintballs, the trousers, the design of them. There's my
Curls on this side.
my trouser geek side.
Yep, they certainly have made an impression with them. Coming originally from a famous American golfer.
Yep, hard.
Yep. The wild thing, John Daly.
But it's added something to the sport, hasn't it? It's got people talking, and they're also a smashing curling team too. So the quality's there as well as the gimmick.
It really reflects their personality as well. They're outgoing guys, you know how to have a good time, and as you say, it definitely brings something good to this, something different to the sport.
Are you finding teams around in the circuit are wearing those types of trousers? Are we seeing more and more of them?
I think it's still pretty limited how many teams at the top level play in them, but I think it's definitely been reflected at a club and a junior level. There's more people playing in your local curling clubs back home.
And anything that gets people curling has got to be a good thing, especially youngsters.
Turn you like, same turn. I don't mind either.
I don't know if I can see Kevin Cooey in them, no.
Okay, just here.
Yeah, I don't think he would go for it, to be honest.
Okay, just check.
Control weight.
So we're in the 7th end here of our featured game.
Good weight. What?
Canada against
Good
the
weight.
USA.
Clean.
Yep. Yes.
It's still a really tight game.
Easy. No.
Carter.
No.
Go. Attaboy. Good shots, Nolan.
Although sensing all the way through that Canada are dictating play.
Butter out turn.
Yeah, Nolan Thiessen certainly looks like he's come to play today, and not even just the standard. I've not even just been impressed by the standard of the shots that he's played. It's also the quality of his communication out there, and he seems to be really good for the team dynamic.
Yeah, he's very measured, very consistent, very supportive as well, which is what you need in a teammate.
I think so.
It's a tough draw. Which turn do you like? In. Here. Okay.
Control weight. Should get some curl.
Well, the Canadians will certainly be quite happy to blank the 7th end and take the hammer into 8.
Easy. No.
That's why they're choosing to peel this corner guard rather than go around it.
Clean. No. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Well, they're actually going for something a little bit more adventurous and try and roll one into the rings, and that's a terrific shot from Carter Rycroft.
I don't really care for the other.
Sticks around that red one as well.
You probably peeled it anyway.
Just make it.
It's great. If you can make this now, you might have a chance to
It's a hair.
Just needs to hit that exactly the right place, which he does.
Get it done.
Yeah, and this end is not going the way the Americans would have liked. I would say that they want a few more stones in play than this and more around the centre line to try and force the Canadians to score one here in the 7th end so they can have the last stone in the 8th end.
Okay, I don't think it's going to be any different. It should be right up, I think, eh?
Yeah, that's what we thought.
Play it the same as this coming home, probably.
I think so.
No. Yeah, no quicker, I'd say, just because we haven't seen as many, but close.
So this is just a dream end, really. A dream 7th end for the Canadians. There's no risk for them, and they've got the opportunity to split the house without any stones out front of the rings,
No, it's fine.
and they can
You're
try and score two
It's
and
running straight now. It's
and
running
really
straight
start to
now.
put this game out of sight of
Go
the
back.
Americans.
It's all here, guys. Looks heavy.
That is, of course, barring any mistakes.
Well, even if there was to be a mistake and they didn't end up scoring 2, then the chances are they're probably going to get a blank end, and they'll take the hammer into the even ends. 3 ends to go. If they had the hammer in the even ends, they would of course have the hammer twice to the Americans once if they did score each time they had the last stone.
Sweden 5-2 up on sheet B in the 6th end. Rasmus Sejerna trying to close the gap with the final stone. No whistling this time.
There's that familiar shout from Rasmus of that a boy.
Yep, no Danish there. Unless that's Danish for something else.
Firm control, guys.
And it worked anyway. 2 yellows, which takes them to a 5-4. Sweden over Denmark, closing the gap. The
Clean.
Danes.
Whoa. Clean it. Whoa. Clean it. Clean. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Clean. Whoa. Whoa. Off. Off now. Off now. Off now. That's a little safe. Good
Okay.
shot.
It's pretty steep.
Pretty steep.
Two coaches there having a good chin wag. I wonder if they're discussing curling. or whether they're going for dinner together.
Yeah, there's a little. Hard. Okay.
What can USA, is anything USA can do here to counteract what's happening?
No, well, they just need to get the stones in a spot where they can make a double takeout. Really, that's the only thing they can do here. They're not in any sort of a situation where they can be aggressive and try and force the issue because there's no guards out front. So at the moment, it's just damage limitation and trying to keep the game in sight going into the 8th end and try and set things up a little bit better than they did this time round.
Yep. Easy. Easy. Clean it. Yep. Yes. Hard. Hard, guys. Real hard. Hard.
Well, this one's overcurled. Will it stick around?
Beauty.
Well, as you heard there, it's a beauty.
I almost reacted like it grabbed too.
Couldn't have got more separation between these two stones. Alan Thiessen looks like he's having a great time out there. Well, he was.
It almost wasn't a real beauty.
Hit it on the nose is just a gimme deuce. Roll it way back here.
Tough for a spot out here.
Well, I don't get too many easy ones. What? Just roll it back over. What did you say? Okay. I wonder if I should go this way.
Well, difficult to see how the United States aren't going to lose a deuce here. Meanwhile, on sheet C, Japan leading Russia by 6 shots to 4 after 5 ends. And here's the Russian fourth thrower,
Just about, yep.
Alexei Stukalski. Trying to make a double takeout, only gets the one away and misses by the narrowest of margins there. It's a big turnaround, that shot there. That could have been as many as 3 if he got that one right. It would be a steal of 1, and Japan now leading Russia by 7 shots to 4. And Japan looking good for securing their 4th win of the week.
4-3 here
I don't want to smoke it down there.
to Canada. And Pete Fencing, USA, been on the back foot for most of this end.
Whoa! Yep! Yep! Whoa! Yep! Whoa! Whoa! I'm not sure if that's out there so far. It doesn't catch that curl or what?
Well, the stone's starting to move a little bit higher in the rings. And maybe Pete Fencing will have a chance to make it double with the next one if Kevin Cooey hits on the nose here.
Theirs didn't seem to go crazy, eh?
He had a lot of weight.
Okay.
I think we got to play this to curl. Don't you?
Yep. A little bit, yep.
I just clean. I'm clean. Whoa! Clean it. Clean. Yep. Yeah. Easy. Yes. Hard. Whoa. Yep. Yes.
Boy.
Well, nice shot there by Kevin Cooey, and just checks a little bit towards the outside.
12-foot cross those double. Let him have a go at it. Even called it a 10 for a little.
Just give him a nose hit for 2.
Yeah.
If he rolled as far as he did out, in, maybe.
In the middle.
Well, just about.
Well, I think it looks a little bit too flat to make this double. The one thing I would say about this is that the other red that they need to remove, they only have to move it a few inches at least to get it out of the rings.
I'm going to give this a go because it's just a nose hit otherwise.
You want to,
I think it's quite right. I don't think there's any risk in going for it.
keep that
But
same
to
turn.
make it, he's going to have to send something down that leaves a vapor trail.
If you don't know, if you wouldn't be
Yeah, if you
confident,
don't, if you don't know it.
I like this better. I mean, I'll throw this hard. It's actually pretty there. It's just long.
Okay.
Skips love giving these kinds of shots a go, though, don't they? It's a long shot.
Yeah, you're certainly going to have to throw it hard, but there is a chance. There is a little bit of an angle on these two. See a big extension on this one. There you go. Bit of hot sauce.
Is it hot enough though?
Well, I think he's over curled on this one. Hits it far too thin. And it's just going to be an open draw to the paint for 2 to extend the Canadian lead here.
Is that whole swing back, does that affect the, does that put him off course a little bit as well? Do you think?
Sorry,
the delivery and the swing back from the delivery.
Well, what it does do, it maybe just gives you a little bit more momentum to throw it that little bit harder.
But it is less controlled.
Back 8 last time.
It depends. Arguably, yes. It depends on how good your technique is. If you're someone like Hammy McMillan, for example, who had great backswing technique, Scottish skip who won the World Championships in 1999, then it probably doesn't make too much difference.
Filled all there.
I got good.
Good line.
I got clean.
Good line, guys.
Well, once again, somewhere around 14.6, 14.7 should be good for the tee line if the ice conditions are how they have been. 14.4 should get to the tee line itself.
Attaboy.
Nice weight. Very nice weight.
And a score of 2 in the 7th end for Canada.
Comfort break for Kevin Cooey, and USA look at what might have been. Canada at 6, United States 3 after 7. Still plenty of action out on the arena.
Yeah, the Americans haven't really been at their best today at all. The Canadians haven't really even had to get out of 3rd gear today to move ahead. And I think it was a really disappointing 7th end for the Americans there. They really needed to put a lot more pressure on the Canadians if they wanted to force the Canadians to only score 1 and give themselves a chance of a realistic chance of winning this game.
And that was the end really to do it in, to try and make a difference.
Yeah, they just didn't get the setup quite right, and they just never looked in that 7th end.
So Canada very much in control in this one. And one of the games is over. It is the Sweden-Denmark game. And it is a victory for Sweden, 9-4, picking up 4 shots in the 7th, just about killed off Denmark. So they move on to 4 wins now, and looking in really good form, and some Swedish fans really enjoying that as we get the 8th end underway in our featured game. Live coverage of the World Men's Curling Championship live here in Beijing Capital Gymnasium.
Curl. There you go. Curling now.
Pretty good now.
And there's the numbers so far. Up to N7. And Canada in control, certainly for most of it, and certainly in control now with that 6-3 lead. USA still have time, Logan, to get back into this.
Yeah, they certainly do. They need to have a multiple score here in the 8th end, really. And if we can learn anything from the scoreboard, is that the USA have not been great when they've got the last stone every single time. Canada, worst case scenario, have forced them to only score 1 in 4 attempts. They've done it 3 times and they've stolen once, and that's just a gulf between the 2 leads.
And this set-up play, if you're behind like this, is absolutely crucial, and they haven't been on form with that either.
Yeah, and going back to just talk about the 7th end, if your lead can't set up the end as you want, then it changes your entire strategy for the end. It's damage limitation all the way, instead of them wanting to play aggressively to try and get the outcome or get their ideal outcome.
So Pete Fenson will be looking for his first two guys to do their stuff here. Get the guards up.
Oh, it's a natural double.
And you heard what he said there.
Yeah, throwing the double corner guard and really wanted to get them evened up. Puff of the cheeks for Pete Fenson. And Carter Rycroft could have a chance to remove both of these yellow stones if he
Not as straight as
hits
this
it
side.
exactly right.
That would be my guess too.
Comparison of the seconds. Not too much in that.
Hard. Real
Except
hard,
in terms
guys.
of the
Gotta
draws.
go.
Right over, Kevin, right over.
Well, again, an over curl coming off the barrier, coming towards the home end.
Know what you're doing.
Just not taking quite enough ice there, I don't think.
It's a faster one, you guys. Even up. Go over curling.
That's okay. Just get it to here. Good. Okay, Joe. It's good. Shoot, guys.
Great deal.
Here are the standings. A reminder at the moment: Norway 5-0, Canada 4-1, Sweden 4-3.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yep.
Although Sweden have
Hard.
just won that game, so that will take them to 4 wins.
This might be hard to bury.
Still got to do something in that middle, though, eh?
Not much different.
The USA certainly know what they have to do here in terms of the strategy.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Good pair, Joe. Shoot, guys.
Well, previously, the USA got a little bit caught out by throwing too many guards, and Kevin Cooey did call their bluff and throw a centre, but no real cause for it now. They've already got a winning margin here and don't really need to take any risk. If they were ever to miss that guard, then it could just be another stone for the USA to use to hide their stones behind.
Clean.
There's Pat Simmons. Clears that away.
Yeah, the big difference between the leads as well. Sorry, between the third players as well. Pat Simmons outplaying Sean Rajeski by 18%. And you will generally find that if
Back line.
Back four. Back eight.
one of your players are underperforming, then it has a knock-on effect for the players following as well. Of course, if one of your players isn't playing well, then the players following need to play more difficult shots, more technical shots, and of course you're not going to make as many of them as the easy ones.
Yeah, and Pat Simmons has certainly upped his game in the second half of the match.
Probably want to roll here, no?
I think so.
Sure. Totally.
I mean, nose is okay too, right? He can.
How about you want to plug that up? Because then
What?
you're just freezing in there again.
Yeah. That's the best. Yeah.
Just turn you like.
Whatever you know. You threw that intern here, remember, with for one?
Okay.
Control, yeah.
Should be fairly
Here up.
straight. I think just here. I don't think it'll take off on you. I think it'll be pretty straight.
more, Kevin.
Weight's good.
Hard. Easy.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa. No, guys.
Whoa, guys.
Just clean it. Oh, okay, just clean
Just looking for a nose hit here, nothing too fancy required.
Roll in there. We're not even on the nose.
Ah.
Oh, he's hard.
Well, USA, they just really need to score 2 here. They don't need to
Or just want to
go crazy aggressive at this point.
Tell me quick.
That's fine.
Double?
But anything less than that could be curtains for the Americans.
So the same thing you just drew?
I think so.
Even the body language and
leaving all these
the
laying around.
he seems to be working out for
I
them.
think we got to go there. This is a little thick,
Okay.
thinner than what I thought.
I don't think we want to. Like I think we want to be right in there.
No,
though.
you got to be right in there, right?
You mean?
Even
I
if it
guess
goes like
if you
that.
do that, it's okay. We don't want to just do that though,
No,
because
no. So I'll take 4 feet off, and that's natural tee, so I can take 6 feet off and just sweep it right to there, right?
yeah, and I'll just make sure that we're. I mean, you got a lot of ways to be good here. I mean, even if it,
Off of that one, if anything.
right, that's better.
So decision made.
That's pretty steep. The double's pretty steep.
So same sort of thing, couple feet less or what?
I'm gonna take
Yeah, the worry here is for the Americans is that they are running out of stones a little bit.
Not trying to tap them
It
around.
was only about.
So
It was only like a 3
they're gonna
natural.
have to try and make this freeze, but then
4 natural. I mean, we.
the worry is that
His is back eight.
they also have to move these red stones at some point, and they've only got 2 to come after this to remove them.
Line's a little tight.
More.
Oh, I know, you're not bad. You're not bad. Where is it?
Tapping them around.
Got to be right to here. Oh.
Looks like plenty of running here.
Same as last one.
Whoa. Whoa, no bumping.
Well, actually just gets a little flick on the top one, but it doesn't quite save it. It should be reasonably easy to poke that between the 2 reds, even if they spill the red at the
Turn is more
better.
south side of the tee line as we look at it.
Yep, there's still enough space there, isn't there?
Well,
This would be.
Sliver
Just,
on your
I think the
side.
best would be to like make
Might
this
sliver
roll.
both of ours, but
okay, I'm not gonna get cute.
No, don't get cute.
There we go. They don't need to, do they?
No, absolutely, I think the only order here is really just to smash that yellow and get it out of there.
Enter.
whoa.
Whoa.
Right off.
Right off.
Right off.
Girl.
Good. Fine.
There we go. Not too bothered about losing. Other reds.
Yeah, so what do you do now? Do you try and make the double to blank the end? Or do you try and force the issue to try and score 2?
What would you do?
Play a tap and roll underneath, don't we?
Yeah, hit and roll, right?
Yeah, the problem with the hit and roll is that there's no guarantee that they'll be lying shot position if they made it, but I don't think they've got too much option. I think they need to try and force a score here in the 8th
Straight
end.
going off the line here.
Earlier in the game, it
Just like all
could well have been that they just made the double takeout
2 down.
Yeah, 2 down. It's good.
and try and blank here.
Yep, we are in number 8. Running out of ends. All you curlers watching. What
This is
would you
probably
do?
better than a double.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. 2 down. You move the ice? Looks like you moved the ice, doesn't it? Doesn't look like it. 2 down. It's gonna get across there. I'm just talking to myself about the ice there because it's. I mean, it doesn't curl a ton.
Defense and just making some last minute adjustments to where he's got the brush down.
Whoa! Two! Whoa! Whoa! Jeez.
Well, just runs that one a little bit straight, and it's wide open for Kevin Cooey to make a takeout on it here.
It just hasn't been his day today, or his team's. Nothing has quite worked out.
You threw that one just about in this spot. Remember?
Yeah.
Spots.
Is that normal? Easy normal kind of.
This is where we basically tried that long hit and roll.
Yeah, that's right too.
Whoa! No! Clean it. Whoa! Whoa! No! Not even clean. Close up. Yes!
Oh, has that one just picked up? I think it must have to roll it the other side. I think when Kevin Cooey let that one go, they thought that they'd laid it a little bit on the high side of the brush. But no harm done, really.
Not even clean it? Okay.
That's the second or third one of his last rock, whatever he's throwing there. I didn't see. That is picked.
Wow. Take a look at it when you get down there. It's right next to the boards.
That's the one. All right. I got it.
Pete Fenson gets a chance to make a takeout and blank this 8th end.
That's the plan anyway.
Well, I think I've seen him do that maybe 3 or 4 times this week already. Trying to hit and roll out of the rings to retain the hammer in the 9th end. Over curls and hits on the nose.
So forced to take one there, United States. And after 8, it's Canada 6.
Walking around right behind Ryan, and I should have stopped.
United States 4.
Rocks in the air, and I thought I can see him moving.
A little scary, eh? A little scary, yeah.
So we'll be concentrating on Canada, USA, but keeping you updated with everything else that's going on in this session of round robin games. One of them is Russia against Japan. 7-4 to Japan. 7th end. And we're with the Russian 4th player, Alexei Stokalsky.
Whoa!
Facing bit of a problem there. Tricky situation for him. And a right. I don't know what that is. It means 1 to Japan, and that is now an 8-4 scoreline. There's the other games. Final score, Sweden 9, Denmark 4, Russia 4, Japan 8, as we've just seen. And on sheet D, Germany 5, Norway 4, 8th end.
No, hardly even look at it.
So that Germany-Norway game is the interesting one.
We can't do anything. You can't touch it. Tight.
Tight on its own.
Fine.
Here's the numbers for our featured game. 6-4 to Canada. Canada with the hammer in this 9th end. And really it is all about
Stop him in.
what Canada do and when.
I like that.
Dictated the play from day one.
Much different on this, going this way, right?
Well, this side should curl.
We might have.
I don't like going around it, I don't think. Yeah, I like this.
Kevin Cooey feeling a little bit indecisive at the other end of the ice. Well, Canada don't want to have things junked up too much here in the 9th end, so they're ignoring that centre guard and choosing to draw one to the wing.
Now, when you're within sight of the winning post, it does affect your thinking.
Easy, 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 easy.
Nice throw, Nolan. Good weight. That's fine.
Yeah, and the USA team are going to have to go all out here in this 9th end. Absolutely no point in hitting that wide redstone. That's doing absolutely nothing.
Line's tight.
Really, and
Line's
the
tight.
Americans
Don't
know
wanna
that
go
they
much.
really need to steal here in the 9th end if they want to have any chance in this game.
It stops right here.
So they need stones on the centre line, and they're going to fully utilise the free guard zone here.
Just get them going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
What's that? I mean, if he goes here, you might be able to get them all. But what do you guys like?
Put another one over there with this one. Did you draw another one over there so that we can make the double peel?
Maybe so, eh? Makes sense. Oh, same weight, Nolan. I like this.
Well, again, they're going to draw to the wing. Ryan Brunt again, just a little bit heavy with that second stone, and putting it down there reasonably close to his first attempt.
Doesn't look heavy.
First one, good for length, but not for line, and then
Hard, boys. Come on.
that one a little bit long.
Gotta go. Come on.
The ideal setup for the Americans here would have been to have two on the centre line and one really close to the house and one just over the hog line.
Good shot.
Oh, another good shot here from the Canadian lead. And
like
Canada lying two here in the 9th.
I'm fine with the out too. You just gotta trust it's gonna run it straight.
Chupolo.
Nice and high. That's a speedy one, guys.
Oh, that's heavy too. This is the glider.
Well, and this is a situation of, once again, your lead doesn't get it set up quite right, then you have to
do this thing. Huh?
Really?
make another attempt at playing the same shot, where with that third stone they should probably be coming around to try and get one in the house. And again, just grouping those yellow stones a little bit too closely together.
Just clean it.
It should be pretty
There's
simple
about this
for
much space.
Canada to get rid of at least two of these yellows.
Chupolo shaking his head there.
Yeah, thick half's fine.
Okay.
Just have not had their game faces on, the Americans.
Hard! 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 Whoa! Whoa! Yep! Yep! Whoa!
Nice shot.
Well, makes two of them go away and spins that yellow away from the centre line as well. So Canada in complete control here of this 9th end.
Keeping things open.
Shot. Thanks.
Couldn't throw it hard enough.
Was that all to do with the weight there?
I think when Carter said that he couldn't throw it hard enough there, then he was just kind of having a laugh and a joke. I don't think he really expected to get them all going there.
Get it over.
So Americans rebuild again with the guard.
Good sweep, guys.
Jeez.
Just crawls over the hog line. These conditions do just look a little bit soft, and it just makes the draws a little bit more difficult.
Yep.
You're not completely in control of where the stone's going to go. You don't really know the speed, and just makes it difficult to make your draws, and that certainly doesn't help the team that's chasing the game either. So it's really stacked against the USA at the moment.
Play.
Room's down there.
Let's try to get one on the center line.
And the Americans persevering with this centre guard option. They don't really have any choice. They could go over there and try and freeze the wide red, but even still, the scoring area is so big, and they really need to steal here in the 9th end.
Tight.
Stop.
Clean. Yep, yep.
Pat Simmons just going to peel this centre stone
Yeah,
off.
Clean, clean.
It's the only stone in play that's really of any threat to the Canadians. They're in a great position to make sure that they score here in this 9th end.
You can hear one or two sighs, and I'm sure that's from the American team.
Yeah, the body language doesn't look great either, Alison. Slightly rounded shoulders, heads down. Here's Sean Rajewski going to try and make this freeze out wide. This is a little bit of a change of strategy here for the Americans. They know the Canadians aren't going to really miss the peel in those centre guards, so next best thing that they can do is try and make the Canadians face a few yellow stones with their last stone and hope for some sort of a mistake.
Nose to
Back to that Russia-Japan game, sheet C, 8th end, 8-4. Japan.
Probably no.
Last stone from right side. Galski just trying to keep his team in this. Needing some vigorous sweeping from Pedro Don, but that's okie dokie, looks in good shape. They get one back. 8-5 after 8.
Clean it.
She's still hanging on in there, but running out of ends.
Just clean, clean.
Yeah, it's a long road back for the Russians as well. Looks like Japan are going to chalk up their 4th win. And back in their featured sheet, it looks like Canada are going to chalk up their 5th win. Looking in complete control of this matchup against the USA.
That's probably tough.
And line 3 in the 9th end here with a 2-shot lead.
USA just haven't been able to get going and haven't really threatened very much in this game
Yeah, I
at
can't do
all.
that. I bump it to here. There's nowhere to freeze. I mean, I got to freeze on it right there. You can't play the double. Play that double. He just drives over there. Corner. Do this.
And that's all you really can do, right? I mean,
He goes like that, then I can make the double.
yeah.
Or what's he gonna do? Or is he just gonna pick it? Then I make the double, or then I make the freeze.
Yeah.
Then we're 3 down. Then we're 3 down there. We gotta try and blank now. Give him 1 with 3 down.
Freezing and then blasted and then going on his corner.
I thought if he could roll like just biting the 8-foot, he shot, and then our run back jammed. So.
Well, Sean Rajewski is down at the other end of the ice, giving Ryan Brunt and Pete Fenson some extra help. Nolan Thiessen and Carter Rycroft
We gotta try and blank this somehow.
Looking very
looking
relaxed.
pretty relaxed.
I was originally just thinking tap it back a couple of feet.
Yeah, but we're giving him 1 if I do
Right.
that.
I mean, he can take 1 no matter what if he can blank it. I don't see where we're going with that. So
Well, what are you gonna try and do that? What are you gonna do?
you just
You
gotta
guys are gonna pose
either that
in
or
a
just
photo
do
box.
this, and hopefully you'll pick it out and then you freeze it here.
Okay, fair enough. Which way are we going then? This way?
Joe Polo coming up to join the banter.
Like a 2, I guess.
Okay.
Very relaxed, very chilled, but then I guess if you're
Good call,
6-4
Joe. Good
up,
call. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure that would be going on if it was a tied game right now. I think the Americans probably know that this game is going to be beyond them. It's only a 2-shot game, but they don't have the last stone, and they're in a lot of trouble here in the 9th end as well.
I mean, I threw that peel weight here, and he just threw one down right here. So.
The intern?
Oh, sorry.
This is
Up at the other end.
how much throwing? He's throwing 2.
Is there a small chance Pete Fenson could just get his side back into this? He's got a hope.
I'm not too sure exactly what he's trying to do here. Trying to make a hit to stick somewhere in the wing. Try and roll it under the cover, perhaps.
Whoa, bite!
That's good.
Okay, is it good enough to lie shot position?
Almost good.
He shot him.
It's another close one, I think.
Yeah.
Very close.
We can roll this far and it's good. And it's tough to roll, I know, but still gotta make it.
Yeah. We're too strong as sweepers.
Overgunned it.
At least he's asking the question of the Canadians.
What do you guys like? Worst shot.
You just split the rings over here. Even if you don't even have to go in behind the corner.
Right
Just
there?
like, yeah. Just
Well,
back
he-
here, and even if
He'll be playing the double.
Like there.
what's that?
Where? Here?
Back.
No, like back deep.
Just split the rings.
Well, he's just freezing.
What about here,
Last that we take our one.
Yeah, I'm not averse to that. I think he's going
Only
around
problem
this,
with going
which
over there is
not
if
awful.
you're tall, light, and he freezes, then you're.
We just put it here. And then he's got the double and roll.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that as much.
Well, they're having a good think about this one anyway.
In my mind. I think this is
I don't think we want to play around that guard, right?
No, I think it's a tough draw.
Edge of the button.
There you go.
Well, they're going to keep the play going to the same side of the sheet here. They're going to try to make a corner freeze on that Yellowstone just played by Pete Fenson.
Well, it's just got to be, he can roll into his own or he has the double and I'm drawing against 2.
Okay.
But
I
then
mean,
you've
we-
just thrown the draw.
I
that's the
guess
only
we could run this.
thing. Then you've just thrown the draw.
Could run it or the freeze.
Do you like this at all?
I mean, we know that spot too. It's just dead straight.
No, I'd rather do that than this, than throw through.
And then run back. He said he'd rather
Like
go
this
back
isn't
more
bad
than run
either, because you can blast it. We get one is good, right?
Like, I mean, you draw in there, he's going around the corner, right? That's what he has to do.
And I'm fine with that. I mean,
Are we sitting one?
back. Yeah,
we're
we're
one.
Okay.
So, I mean, then you can play the run back and roll into the rings. I mean, I don't know. Or
Want
just draw the
Tinker's
button.
opinion?
yeah.
I mean, if you draw here, you're making him make a good freeze.
Agony.
And you're gonna be able to blast. You're gonna be able to blast it out, right? One is huge.
No, I know. I'm not. I'm just worried about him making this.
Yeah,
I don't want to draw against
Right,
2.
that's
over there is
exactly.
right.
So it's either there or
You
if
try
you're
to double.
worried
you
about
can
that,
try
then
to
this is. I
freeze,
think this is.
we should have an easy
Yeah,
shot.
then I'm
for-
just trying against 1 unless I leave him some kind of double, but then I should have a nose hit, right?
Wow, right. So that's why I kind of like that first. If you don't want like looking at 2, I like that first.
Well, Kevin Cue is pretty clear on what he doesn't want, and he's trying to work out the best way to do it. And what
What were
he
you
doesn't
throwing
want is to have to play against 2 with his last owner, or throw a
Shade
draw
more,
against
Pat.
2. I think he's quite happy throwing a takeout because then he's only going to lose 1, but
Just
Piece tucked.
putting himself in a position where if
right here.
So like,
something terrible happened to his last stone, he gave up a steal of 2, then the game's back on. So
Well, there is a time for them that's left. Big discussion there. Took a good 2 or 3 minutes, that. Canada down to 10:38.
line's
Hard
good.
line, guys.
Really gotta go.
We're light. Stick guard.
Hard.
Way light.
So after all that, that's what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, too much discussion and not enough execution
Yep.
on that occasion.
Probably his first mistake of the game.
Yeah, so it might be that he ends up having to play against two. Defence with a chance to come around and freeze, just bump that red stone a little bit, and then it'll be thrown against two. So
Was that just a dead shank?
Wee glimmer of hope for the USA here.
Kind of looked like it was soft, real soft.
No, we want to move that, so we lie 2. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely. We threw a 60, which is about what that should have been. So I think it's. I don't think it's changed all that much. It's not gotten faster for sure. So
Kevin Cooey with the last stone.
Giving us a little bit more.
85?
80.
85.
yeah, Rick Lang and Al Hackner still
I think I think the 80's
having a
gotta
good
be,
chat about the
bit of
about the game.
there.
At least they're smiling.
Back there, that far, yeah.
If only we really knew what they were talking about.
Yeah, we need to get a mic down there. Find out what's really going on.
So this is Pete Fenson's last stone of this end. Just wanting to make it as difficult as possible for Kevin Cooey.
Where is it? Line's good.
Wait there!
Yep.
Probably looking for something around 14 seconds on this one.
We're there. Line's good. Whoa, we're tapping.
Certainly enough to tap it. It's probably a back line away.
Good.
Really nice shot here by Pete Fenson. So, Kevin Cooey didn't want to draw against two, but that's what he's going to have to do after missing with his previous shot.
So ninth end and the last stone from the Canadian skip.
Same line. Heavy clean in front of Same line, guys. Same line.
Well, looks like he's got plenty of running.
Same line.
Has he made the correct adjustment with this one? I think it's going to be just okay. Comes down onto the back of the tee line, and it's a score of 1. There wasn't a huge amount of communication there, so
They seem to be making life a little bit difficult for themselves, but after 9 they are still in control. Canada 7, United States 4.
I think he's got a picker there. It's 3 times.
That red hat really sticks.
yeah, a 3-shot game coming home here. And it's going to take some massive mistakes really from the Canadians for the USA to have any chance of winning this game. Scoring 3 is a big ask in the 10th end, but to then have to go and steal as well in the 11th end, it's going to be an even bigger ask. Anyway, meanwhile on the other side of the Capitol Gymnasium here in Beijing, well, quite a few pieces of red granite kicking about, and Thomas Ilshood's going to have to wiggle one in there to try and tie the game up. Bud Pettersson and Sva giving this one some elbow grease and getting the job done. Score of 1 for Norway. And can Germany pull off an upset? 3 straight losses. Can they end Norway's undefeated streak? 5 each after 8 ends.
This is our featured game though. She take Canada against the United States 7-4. Can the United States get 3 and pull themselves level and take it to an extra end? They're really clinging onto this game by the fingernails, Logan, aren't they?
Well, you could say that, Alison, but they've never really had any sort of a hold on this game. It's been it's been one-way traffic really. Canadians haven't been at their absolute best, but certainly been good enough to deserve a win against this misfiring American team.
Sit. I hit something.
USA haven't managed to score more than one at any point in this game.
You want to play the straight turn?
And they need 3.
Whichever you like.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had the hammer 5 times in this game, and the name of the game really is scoring 2 when you've got the last stone. That's how you win games, and they just haven't managed to do that today.
Good way.
Whoa, never know.
Well, this is an extremely difficult shot the Canadians are trying here. Just trying to push this corner guard a foot to the side.
Curl a bit.
Okay, good try. Good weight.
Just set it a little bit.
Was it worth a try? Was it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's there's nothing really to lose. You can play it in such a way that it's not really going to be worth not trying. If you throw it reasonably firm, then there's not going to be a situation where you end up leaving 2 guards around. Let's say that would have been a bad result for the Canadians.
Not too crazy high.
So you'll see these yellow stones coming up short to provide guards for later play. But you'll see the Canadians removing them.
Yep. Hard.
Yeah, nothing fancy required here for the Canadians. They just need to keep making these hits and rolling their stones away out of play. Any stone in play at this point is a stone that can be used to the Americans' advantage.
Alright, guys.
It's about where Ryan's was.
Alright. That's good. That's good. Jeez.
So yeah, I get the impression the Americans are just kind of going through the motions a little bit here. I think the result's pretty inevitable. It's going to take a couple of mistakes probably for the Canadians to give up 3.
Hard.
And this is this double takeout made. Oh, just hits it a fraction too thick. Good attempt there by Carter Rycroft, the Olympic silver medalist from 2002.
That's more skater.
Well, Kevin Cuy's got a big showdown this evening in a battle that you would think would be a practice run for the playoffs. They're going to be up against Norway.
Yep.
And Norway have their work cut out at the moment against Germany.
Well, there's Pat Simmons' turn to just chip those guards off. USA have got the night off tonight. And the morning actually.
Well, we can play the split there in that line.
And they'll be back in action tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock local time against the local team, the Chinese.
It's been a bad day for USA. Aim to get back on track tomorrow.
Yeah, you'd have to think though, unfortunately, that this could be the end of the Americans' hopes of making the playoffs. As I said at the start of the the broadcast. As soon as you go to 5 losses, you're putting your life in the competition at the hands of a lot of other teams. You need a lot of results to go your way for you to have any sort of a chance of making the playoffs.
Probably not in his hands now. Very much about Canada.
Yep. Hard. 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 Clean. 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 Shot.
Hi, boy, Pat. Good rush.
Good boy.
Give me that in.
Well,
Take
3 remaining, and they pretty much all have to go in the house.
I think we just
We gotta go
So
in.
Pete Fenson's gonna
We have to go in. We just go in the back on the deep
have
side.
to go around this corner guard.
He knows it's it. We freeze on it, then we split on our last.
$7-4 down, remember, USA. This is the 10th end. They need 3 stones to count for them.
Keep the line. Where are you now? Gotta go. Okay, right, hit back here. Hard.
Well, they don't just need to get into the house, they need to get quite deep into the house here to create space for the other draws to come around. And just next the guard, and
Only just.
I think the fat lady may be about to sing Alison.
Across the face. That makes sense.
What do they have left? They only have 2 left.
Hit something.
Yeah. Throw a bomb at the middle.
And I just make this double.
Make the double, I guess. Yeah.
So this is a potential game winner. Seems to hit right in the crotch of these 2 yellow stones, and they'll both fly away. And then the most USA could score is a 2, and of course that's not enough to tie things up in the regulation 10 ends.
So this could be the last one of the game from Kevin Coey.
Yeah, it's not hanging around this one. I think he's only going to get the 1 here. No, does enough to push it over, and that's not going to come into a usable position.
And it is handshakes and victory for Canada. USA managed to stretch it out to the 10th end, but there is the final score. Canada 7, United States 4, and Canada move on to 5 wins. USA up against it, just the 2 victories.
Good job, guys.
But a good day for Canada.
Yeah, there's no doubt that the Canadians were the stronger of the 2 sides today. And as we said before, Kevin Coey 6-0 against Pete Fenson since 2006, now 7-0. Still a couple of games out there in the Capitol Gymnasium. Of course, we saw Oscar Eriksson skipping his Swedish side to comprehensive 9-4 win over Denmark to put their 4th win of the week on the board. But over on the other side of the arena, here is the final moments of Germany against Norway. Germany were forced to score 1 in the 9th end. So Norway 1 down with the last stone in 10 here. And here's Norwegian 3rd player Torgeir Nergård. Norway have one frozen at the back of the 4-foot. And not too many guards kicking about. Norway looking in good shape to put a deuce on the board here in the 10th. So a big scrub required here. Well, not good enough to lie in 2nd shot position, but great job by the sweepers there to get it down there far enough to lie 3rd. And of course that 2nd shot would be reasonably straightforward to remove as things sit at the moment with that yellow frozen on it.
Pull
bei Nase läufst du vielleicht nur drüber. Ich würde ihn direkt nehmen. Und sonst hast du hinten das Backing.
Ja. Wo treffen? Halb oder was?
Halb. Halb treffen? Ja.
Viel Eis, ich meine, die kommen ja nicht mehr weg.
Du hast ihn ja gerade gespielt. Ja. Der war genau Nase.
Well, going for a slash double here. Has he got it? Oh, what a shot from John Yar. Makes both of those yellows go away. Stone-faced, but he knows that that was a real game saver, that shot. Well, John Yar masterminds this German team, calls the game, but he can still play all the shots. And once again, Norway with some work to do here. Oh, just pushes that one back to the tee line.
Kick außen treffen, ne? Ja. Die müssen es sehen. Gar nicht zu weit außen.
Well, this is Felix Schulze, the German fourth player. Should be a reasonably straightforward takeout here. Just really needs to hit a reasonable portion on the right hand side of the stone as we look at it and thread it between those two reds at the back of the tee line. So, another good shot. And now Thomas Hulsrud needing to make a freeze on that wide redstone to have any chance of winning this game in regulation time. Well, I guess the one good thing at the moment for the Norwegians is that there's not really, well, there isn't any guards at the moment. There's no threat to them, and they can afford to take a little risk here, knowing that they'll have a straightforward shot to go to an extra end if needed.
You would bet on him making this though, wouldn't you?
Well, Alison, freeze is the hardest shot in curling. So it's very difficult to get this one absolutely perfect. What does make it slightly easier is that other stone towards the centre line could just get in the way if you put a nice angle on it. Well, looks like it's got a little bit too much pace, has it? Well, certainly has. Probably 2 feet, too much running. And Thomas Hulsrud's going to have to make his final shot if he wants to go to an extra end here.
Real drama out on sheet D here.
Well, after that miss, the Norwegian perfect record of 5-0 is at real risk.
Another final though, it's Russia 7, Japan 8. Russia pushed them all the way, but another good result, another good win for Japan. They move up to 4 wins. Russians have had some close ones, but haven't quite managed to get those victories. Germany have a timeout here.
Yeah, and that win for Japan puts them to 4 wins and 2 losses and probably makes this game even more important to the Germans. They won't want the Japanese team getting away from them in the standings. Martin Beiser says his bits. And I don't think there's too much to discuss here. I think the best shot might be just to hit that yellow, and what they don't want to do is kind of create a big pocket for Thomas Hulsrud to roll into. They probably want to hit this and roll into the wide red, or even just try and peel it without dislodging that back red.
So important shot for Felix Schulz, the 4th player for Germany.
50! 50! 50! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, good. Good.
So,
Sehr good.
pretty perfect there, to be honest, and Thomas Hulsrud's going to have to pretty much touch the 4-foot circle with his final stone to take this one to an extra end.
Yep, Germany have asked the question. They've done their bit.
Certainly not messing about, Thomas Hulsrud here. Can't have a huge amount of time left on the clock.
Yeah, you could see he was already speeding up as that last stone was being played from Germany. So final stone of this 10th end to take it into an extra end.
Well, it could be just something that puts this last stone in doubt a little bit. If you're rushing, the adrenaline's pumping, then can affect your draw weight. Well, this one's got to go a little bit. Have the supers got it there? They certainly have. Super draw by Thomas Hulsrud. And this one's going to need an extra end to separate the two teams.
Yep, Norway live to fight another day. After 10, it's Germany 6, Norway 6. Germany, of course, with the hammer. And we will bring you the remainder of this game, never fear. Already we've seen Canada beat the USA, victory for Japan, and also earlier victory for Sweden. And will it be Norway or Germany? There's the confirmation of those. Canada 7, United States 4. On sheet B, Sweden 9, Denmark 4. Russia losing out to Japan 7-8. And this one on sheet D, Germany is now 6, of course, Norway 6.
Yeah, pretty much everything going to the form book so far. But Norway in some real trouble here without the last stone. And we saw Scotland managed to pull out the fire in an extra end against Switzerland yesterday on the same sheet. Can Thomas Hulsrud and his Norwegian team do the same?
Here's his final stone again to make the extra end.
Yeah, it seemed to be a little bit of a panic just at this point. Heads were down, but once it hit the front of the house, they knew that it was absolutely perfect.
All those reds lying in wait. So we start with the slate clean, but Germany with the hammer.
Just trying to drop this one just over the hog line. Over curls a little bit.
Solange er dann schlechter liegt, ja.
Aber da liegen wir wieder, oder?
Ja, muss einfach weit weg.
Muss schnell genug sein. Dann ja, das probieren.
Schnell genug.
Ich komm schnell genug. 40? Ja. Wirklich hauchen, Jungs. Ja, machen wir schon.
Well, we're going to see this tech shot being demonstrated once again. Here's Sven Goldeman throwing lead stones for Germany. He's thrown quite a lot of weight at this, so they'll just need to hit very thin. Generally these days you see that kind of shot throwing much softer. But perhaps just with the stone not being quite on the centre line, they thought they could afford to play it with more weight.
So the stone is replaced.
Certainly wouldn't have been a favourable result if they left a stone on the centre line by trying to be a little bit too fancy with it.
Always a bit closer to the center line.
So Ulsrud and Johnny Yar having a discussion about what that really was.
Yeah, I think Thomas Ulsrud was just saying, oh, that's the problem about missing a tick shot, is that your guard ends up a little bit closer to the centre line the next time, basically making fun of the fact that the other skip has as their prerogative to put the stone back where they thought it was. So just took the opportunity just to move it a little bit closer to the centre line to give them a better chance of stealing. A little bit cheeky.
But in a nice way. Roman's second stone.
Länge gut. Länge gut. Aufpassen. Easy. Länge gut. Easy.
Well, now the Germans choosing to come around and try and get one in there to protect the button and block the path in for the Norwegians. Now Norway will call a freeze on that redstone. Christopher Sva with the intern draw.
7, 3, 28, 8.
Looking a little bit speedy here.
It is. It's going a lot further than he intended.
Oh, that's a bad miss from the Norwegian second.
Ikke jeg spiller hardere enn jeg spilte utover her sånn.
It's really a wasted stone for the Norwegians, and now John Yar can ask his team to start tidying up these guards out front. Chris Bartsch, he had a bit of a rest yesterday for reasons I'm not quite sure of, but Peter Reckmeyer's got a run out. Maybe that's shots like that that caused them to be rested.
Yep, that went all over the place there. Wrong stones left the field of play.
Yeah, that's not good. You need to be making sure that worst case scenario, you just play the single peel there. It's really not too far from being a perfect shot, but ending up pretty disastrous. And now there's a yellow stone on the centre line. And another opportunity for Christopher Sva to make this come around.
Bare stoppe nå. Bare stoppe, så kommer du ut igjen. Altså selv. Bra. Det er den vi skal gærne livet på. Heldigvis er det rød. Eigentlich, also im Moment stört uns diese Garte. Der rote stört uns nicht. Nö.
So if you're just joining us, we're in an extra end of this Germany-Norway game in the round robin.
Ich meine, das mit dem Roten hat den Vorteil, du könntest ihn sonst direkt auf den Shot jagen, ne, wenn du ihn ein bisschen zu dick triffst.
Ich finde nur, wenn der Rote weg ist, kannst du hier auch noch nach so draufspielen. Lass uns kurz reden. Das ist echt...
Yeah, Christopher Bartsch is a great competitor, and I'm sure he'll want to make up for that previous mistake.
Dann haben wir die Drawspur da wieder auf.
Wir haben uns überlegt.
Just having another look at it.
Weil dazwischendurch kannst du eigentlich quasi gar nicht. Entweder triffst du den oder du triffst direkt den Shot. Und wenn wir den treffen, gehen wir hinten auf das Ding auch noch. Auf welches Ding? Auf den. Naja, gut. Ziel ist es einfach den so. Oder? Ja.
Dann haben wir die Drawspur. Ich finde es auch besser.
Oder hinten über die Nase. Du kannst es dir dann ja angucken, wie er läuft, Johnny.
Naja, so genau kannst du es ja nicht sehen, leider. Ja, Bude, war der rein eben?
Ja, glaub schon. Mach mal ein normales Eis.
Willst du so?
Ja.
Well, the Germans are taking a little bit of a risk here and going after this red stone and trying to hit it onto the one in the centre line. They're trying to open up shots on both hands for Felix Schultz's last one.
Get it!
Good. Schön.
Well, that's what they called. It wasn't just that they were going after the double peel. They knew what the tolerance was there, and they knew that they had other stones that they could remove.
And the yell, get it, proved quite effective.
Yeah, and hangs around for shot as well. A slight added bonus. Still leaves that centre guard though. And Norway won't be too interested in that red stone in the 8-foot circle at the moment. They know they need to get one closer than that if they want to have any chance of winning this game.
Ja. Se opp. 6-7. Linja er bra.
Ja, linja er der. Så. Må gå på fart. Så. Ja, prøv å få køl da. Kom igjen, køl. Jobbe køl. Kom igjen. Jobbe køl. Hardt. Litt til. Kom igjen. Bra.
Another good shot by Torger Nergard. We'll just see a single peel attempted here. It'd be very risky to go for the run back at this stage. Played a pretty good one in the 10th end.
Oh, weg.
Hinten!
Ja, hat er.
Weg! Hart!
Well, a little bit cheeky from John Yar. Overthrows that one and picks the one off the button.
Doesn't seem too upset by it.
I think that was an either-or shot, really. Certainly would have expected him to hit the first one, though. So same draw for Torger. The only difference now for the Norwegians is that the Germans aren't lying second shot, so it could make the Germans' final stone a little bit more difficult if they need to hit and stick around. No, that one just died on them. That maybe didn't quite have the line there to be able to sweep it in behind the guard.
Okay, Anton, hva liker du? Ja, gå vekk.
So that's where he wants it. Another go at this for Johnny R. Peels it and gets a second as well.
Well, it doesn't make too much difference getting that wide at the moment. We're certainly going to need a guard with this one, and then it's about trying to find a spot in the house where it makes Felix Schultz's last stone as difficult as possible. Let's try and force that miss that they need to win this game.
So the first of the skip stones. Thomas Olsrud.
Ja, må tight som mulig. Midt på senterlinja. Midt på senter.
Don't think they'll be too worried about guarding the shot stone here. It's more about getting one on the centre line. They're leaving an angle and risking that Felix Schultz makes the double peel. And John Yar calls the timeout.
Mit Chance. Obwohl. Also,
aber was passiert, wenn ich die Nase habe?
Ja, dann geht er rum.
Geht er rum?
Das würde ich ja nicht
dann
machen.
wird's blöd.
Dann wird's blöd, weil du dann treffen aber was ist denn, wenn wir nur die Guard haben? Wo geht er dann hin? Da wird er hier hingehen, oder?
Ja, dann muss ich irgendwo einen Roll haben oder sowas. Ist ja okay.
Also Jungs, ich glaube, wir sollten den sicher abspielen, wenn er ihn mitnimmt, das ist Bonus.
Mark Beiser making his way back down for the second time in 10 minutes.
Und selbst wenn er
I'd be absolutely shocked if they didn't peel the guard here.
Also
Wenn wir den
Guard,
abspielen
oder?
liegen bleiben, was macht er denn dann?
Ja,
Dann
aber
geht er
das
rum.
Problem ist, wenn er dir hier hingeht.
Nehmen wir mal an, er geht unangenehm hinten hier also genau gerade rum. So, wenn uns das Ding dann ein bisschen scheiße curlt,
Ja,
scoret
dann
er
haben wir
mit
auch
dem.
den, dann scoret er mit dem, genau. Also
Okay.
ich finde es schon, lass uns den sicher nehmen.
Ich glaube sicher die Guard.
Ja,
Und dann
sicher.
muss er erstmal einen guten Sprung.
aber nur eine leichte
Bules,
Chance.
die zogen ja doch ein bisschen hier, ne? Kann mal sein, hatten wir
Certainly heard the word guard in there.
Ein bisschen reingedreht.
weiter vorne lag
Lass uns lieber das sicher reißen.
Wir dürfen nur nicht irgendwo da liegen bleiben, ne?
Well, it's definitely the safe call, this one. It's easy to get sucked in and try and do something fancy, so you don't have to put your last on, but
He's 81% on his 8 hits. The 4th player for Germany.
well, first things first, get the guard off. If you can get the one in the house as well, that's a bonus. Any good? Great shot by Felix Schulze.
Schön, Hupe.
Opens the centre of play right up, and
Sehr schön, Hupe. Mehr kannst du
Norway
nicht erwarten.
are lying 2 at the moment. They're going to stick another one in there, probably to the edge of the 4-foot, and hope for a hit and roll out with Felix Schulze's last stone. But worst case scenario, it's just going to be an open nose hit for Germany to win this game and hand Norway their first defeat of this 2014 World Men's Championships.
Things can still happen under pressure though.
Litt mindre, Torgeir. Enda litt.
Jeg tror vi bør ha en bit av 4-fot, altså.
Ja, jeg tror han slår.
Du treffer ikke senterlinja med isen her.
And this man has been in this situation hundreds of times before.
Han har gått hardt på. Holder du å gå hardt på. Må helt ned på 4-fot.
Kom igjen, Torgeir, trygg hjelp! Hardt! Gard! Hardt! Gard hele gangen! Hardt!
Well, they're really going to have to go with this one to get it there. Comes up short.
And perhaps the pressure did get to Thomas Ulsrud there.
Well, Felix Schulze is just going to have to be a little bit more than fully in the 12-foot here to win this game. And that would end a losing streak for the Germans. After winning their first 3, they lost their next 3. And this might get the ship going in the right direction once again.
So Ulsrud coming up short. The adrenaline will be pumping. Felix Schulze has this to win the game. Last stone of this extra end.
Well, should be straightforward. Just giving it to the sweepers. Well, Christopher Sva thinks it's made. John Yar thinks it's made.
And they think it's made, they know it's made. And there we go, it's victory for Germany, inflicting the first defeat on the all-consuming Norway. Extra end it took, but a notable win for the Germans. They move on to 4-3. Norway still in a great position, but a great game, well played to Germany.
So 7-4 in our featured game between Canada and the United States. Canada really in full control for the duration of the game, certainly by half-time. They were looking good to win their 5th game of this World Championships 2014. USA suffering their 5th defeat of the week. Canada and the United States. This is the 6th end. And Pete Fenson facing one in the forefoot after a really nice draw by Kevin Cooey. Needs to negotiate the yellow tight guard.
Mine's good. T-line.
That's good. 20 good.
And absolutely no problem for the American skipper. One on the board for the United States. 4-3. Then into the 7th end. See that biter just next to Pat Simmons there. Kevin Cooey just having to hit the paint here.
Sold all there.
And you won't see a player of Kevin Cooey's caliber missing this one too often. A 3-shot lead for Canada after 7 ends. Then in the 9th end, here was Kevin Cooey after a miss with his first one. Just needed to find the 8-foot, however, against 2 American stones. And throws that one down right onto the poppy.
Good shot.
1 red and 1 for the Canadians. 7-4. And then in the 10th end, no problem at all for the Canadians to run the Americans out of stones. And Canada pick up their 5th win of the week. Elsewhere on the ice, next door on sheet B, Sweden defeating Denmark by 9 shots to 4 in just 7 ends. Japan seeing off Russia by 8 shots to 7. And Germany pulling off a shock victory over Norway. They needed an extra end to do that, but the scoreline there, 7 shots to 6. And this is how they all stack up after session 10. Canada and Norway tied at the top. They face each other tonight on 5-1. Japan, Switzerland, Germany and Sweden all on 4 wins now. In the bottom half of the table, China still hanging in there. And these other 5 teams with a lot of work to do if they want to be in the finals.
Okay. Kevin, you seem to pretty much have control of that throughout.
Yeah, we played well today, so getting a little more comfortable with the ice, so it's good. It's a good feeling. I mean, USA, Pete, they're a good team. We've played lots, so we're pretty familiar with them. So it's nice to get up and get control and just maintain it all the way.
Does it help that I think you've beaten them? Is it 6 times already this season? Does that enter your thoughts?
Well, a little bit. I mean, we've for sure had a lot of success against them over the past years, but. At the same time, they're a good team, and they're going to beat you somewhere down the road, so you just hope it's not today.
5 wins, is that pretty much where you hoped or you thought you'd be?
Well, yeah, we hoped we were. I'm really happy with it, considering I don't think we've played our best yet. So 5-1, very happy, and if we can keep getting better, the ice seems to be getting better as we go, so like our chances.
Cool, well played today, thank you. Thank you. Thanks for doing that.
There you go, the thoughts of the winning skip Kevin Cooey as they pick up their 5th win of the week here at the 2014 World Men's Curling Championships. And from myself, Logan Gray and Alison Walker, thanks for watching and joining us for more this evening.